We have another level we can get to, and we're going to have to against that team.
All right, everybody, getting settled here. It's a Saturday, May 25th, 2024. How's everybody doing out there today? It's the Edmonton Oilers set for Game 2. Edmonton took a surprising win in double OT. We'll see if they can do it again tonight. Here's the starting lineups. Connor McDavid, RNH, Zach Hyman, Matthias Ekholm, Evan Bouchard, Leon Draisaitl, Evander Kane, Dylan Holloway, Darnell Nurse, Vincent Desharnais, Ryan McLeod, Warren Fogle, Derek Ryan, Sam Carrick, Matthias Cody Ceci. Stuart Skinner will be the goaltender of record. Coach Peter DeBoer are the Dallas Stars. Wyatt Johnson, Jason Robertson, Logan Stankoven, Thomas Harley, Miro Heiskanen. It's Matt Duchene, Mason Marchment, Joe Pavelski, S. Lindell, Kris Tanev, Tyler Seguin, Jamie Benn of getting Dodonov, Sam Steele, Roddick Fox, or Craig Smith with Ryan Suter and Alexander Petrovich, with Jake Ottinger in goal. Alec, it's good to have you in the broadcast booth once again. We look at Game 1. It was an instant classic in double OT. You end up calling that winner with Connor McDavid. Jake Ottinger had a rough start, but 35 of 38 in the loss, but Stuart Skinner was exceptional. 31 of 33 in the double overtime victory. It was his best game in the playoffs. Can Edmonton do this again in Game 2?
They could, given that they held the Stars without a power play goal. 0 for 5 are the Stars on the man advantage this past power plays before they nearly broke through the first overtime. And the Oilers, with their rock-solid penalty kill, they killed out 19 straight penalties so far to this point. They've been rock-solid defensively, something that would be strange to say 2 years ago, but now it's coming to fruition. And with McDavid, Draisaitl, Bouchard, and everyone on that top end playing as advertised, it feels that a repeat could be on the march. I feel Dallas, they may have something brewing here in Game 2. Perhaps somebody tighten up on their top to bottom lineup.
I'm going to look at it the same way that you just said. I agree in the sense of what I think is going to happen with Dallas. I kind of felt that way in terms of the Florida Panthers and New York Rangers as well, trying to get that 1-1-1. Dallas wants to get this to 1-1 before they go back to Edmonton. How do they change this? Because when you look at it, I saw a little bit in the postgame. It would surprise me. The line of S. Lindell and Kris Tanev was the line that gave up all 3 goals against the Edmonton Oilers. Who scored all 3 goals? Well, it was all the names you would expect in Zach Hyman, Connor McDavid, and Leon Draisaitl. So the names that you didn't want to get on the board all got on the board. And it seems like, too, Miro Heiskanen's ice time is climbing up, as you expect it would, but he's getting close to 30 minutes a game, and that's just too much. So they need to get a little more complementary scoring here for the Stars, maybe a little bit of a push. And honestly, from what we saw last night in Florida, you might expect Dallas to do the same thing. And what I mean by that is maybe the first 2 minutes, Dallas might come out and shove a cannon.
I would think that the same thing as well. They want to start off with a pace, pressure the Oilers early. That's what I would think would happen. Now you're saying, I think I've seen Tyler Landry. I see a number 10 there, so he's on the lineup. I wonder who's subbed out in the case that the Landry is in. We'll have to monitor that because we did not expect the Landry to be on the lineup. He's a frequent healthy scratch. That's no shame to him. It feels like he was the odd man out of this lineup.
Maybe, unless they're going to go ahead and do the same thing with Fox again, question mark. He's been the one that's been up and down in the lineup. They were talking about possibly getting Roope Hintz as a game-time decision. That did not come through. Adam Henrique, the same thing for Edmonton. So they're both still out. And I noticed something in the pregame as well that they talked about Stuart Skinner. Again, when he was screening with shots on goal within the first, 2 series, he was about a 680 save percentage. Now, within these last 3 games, he's well over 850, almost 900 on screens itself. So they're saying that he's getting up on posture, left to right, and finding a way. Again, it's a little bit different depending on who screens you, of course, but Skinner's numbers have been better. And as you said, their penalty has been immaculate. They're above 93% now. So Edmonton is playing quite well. And we'll see if they can take this game too. I think you and I are going to lean Stars here this time, but I would not be shocked if Edmonton can find a way to keep this close again. We could have another barn burner.
good is every game until the very end of it. Game 1 between the Panthers and Rangers, tactical supplication. Game 2, that was yesterday, and they answered in kind. What Farquaad Goodrow as the overtime hero? That wasn't on my bingo card.
No, it wasn't. Again, we had that push, and that was a lot of fun to watch. We think that series is going to be really good. We still think this series is going to be really good. I wouldn't say there isn't any pressure on the Edmonton Oilers. They do want to go up 2-0, but I do think most of it obviously has to be on the Stars. You don't want to go down again, although I will say this. If you go down 2-0 against the Edmonton Oilers, when you went down 2-0 against Vegas, it does carry a little bit less weight against it, but you don't want to get either if you're the Stars.
No, you don't. Especially since you never won a game 1 under DeBoer. You go down 2-0 against the Oilers. I know this may be the quote-unquote easiest matchup that the Stars have had, but since you went down 2-0 against the defending champions, against the defending champions, it feels like a talk against. I feel anything is possible for the Stars at this moment, but for the Oilers, for a team that didn't come in with Stanley Cup expectations heading into the playoffs, they have to feel at an all-time high in terms of confidence level now.
Yeah, Alec, because they're farther along than they were 2 years ago. They already in conference finals. They're as close as they've ever been to a cup in a long time. Just 7 more victories. I know that's a gargantuan time away, but just a few more weeks now. For Jake Ottinger, he has been absolutely brilliant, although his road splits and home splits are quite different. But he does have a .920 save percentage in totality, which is the best of any goaltender in the postseason. I don't think Jake Ottinger needs to play much better. I think the Dallas offense to activate. That's my key in the game, too. We'll see if they can do so. They were talking about defensive pairings trying to score as well to help out. Jason Robertson hasn't scored, I believe, in about 8 games, so we'll see if that comes to fruition, if they can get on the score sheet, because he was good in that OT, hitting a couple posts. But we're underway. It's left or right now. As this opportunity, Connor McDavid off the cross pass, good stick in the lane. In Dallas, I'm mentioning shooting out of a cannon here early. See if they can do it. Mason Marchment, that was a check. He tried to pick that one up as it got hit from behind, and now Dallas will. Again, we mentioned Lindell and Tanev being the one that gave up all 3 goals in that pairing against the top players. You would expect them to be better as well. You'd think Dallas is a completely different effort. We'll see if Edmonton buys into that at all. As Miro Heiskanen will get punished off a hit. Edmonton now will pick it up with Leon Draisaitl as this one will go back around the end boards. Evander Kane will watch. This one gets fluttered to the net, but Dallas gets a stick on it. And now Jamie Benn will play this. And we'll see who matches up with that Connor McDavid top as well on the forwards, and that'll be something to keep an eye on. As this is punched in by Holloway, and Jake Ottinger will hold for the first stoppage in this game.
And we did mention about who's going to be subbed out if Nylander were to come into the lineup. You were asking Fox that was subbed out.
That is something that has been a game-time decision here and there. And Connor McDavid, look, he gets a wood on Kris Tanev as he tries to finish his hit. So Connor McDavid was the one that was in that position before in the Vancouver series, but now he gets on the front foot and delivers a hit, which is good to see. So this one.
Tanev had a clutch block on McDavid.
They did. He's known for a lot of that. The faceoff one actually goes outside the zone from the pass from Cody Ceci. So Edmonton will have to go ahead and pick it up again. This will be toward the right dot. Again, the road white jerseys with the blue and the orange mixing the striping. This will be a right dot in the offensive end for Dallas. Here's an opportunity. Sam Steele, he turns on the full burners. He gets hit in toward the left side boards. This is picked off here by the Edmonton Oilers. It's an opportunity for Hyman off a couple of spins. We'll try to get this off a stick lift. Reception. They're neutral. Steele. Try to send this one from Craig Smith. Combination play Darnell Nurse. Soft pass to Vincent Desharnais. Try to chip it off the glass. It bounced it away from Ryan. Stankoven tries to find it. Here is Harley off the spin. And this is picked up in Edmonton. Derek Ryan off the drop pass from McLeod. But this gets knocked away from him with an outstretch. Picked up now for Vincent Desharnais. 17:40 left to go in this first round. Here with you alongside Alec Nava. This is Game 2 of the Western Conference Final. It was a 3-2 victory for Edmonton in Game 1 in double OT as this goes off sides.
Now we speak of the Dallas game plan. What to do here? The Edmonton game plan, how they can continue to exploit this steady defense. In recent history, both teams have faced struggles in winning the first game of the playoff series. They were combined in game once, but the Oilers eventually came out on top in this one, 32 seconds into the double overtime.
And we saw on that final goal as well, he had two defensemen commit in behind the net, which left Connor McDavid wide open from a really good pass from Zach Hyman, and ended up finishing that one off. So as well, we've been talking about that in this pregame leading into this early here in Game 2 because it's important. We expect Dallas to come up a little bit better of an effort. RNH will make the play back to defense as a slap pass. It'll work in behind the end boards again, and Jake Ottinger is in the stand-up. Feet out in front, attempted, gets picked off. Dallas tries to funnel it towards Skinner. It gets blocked a couple times. McDavid on the back check as this one is lobbed out of the zone now. Opportunity now for Dallas with Joe Pavelski. Miro Heiskanen will set it up. Dump it in. Opportunity near the right side boards now. Jamie Benn trying to throw a body out there and dislodge the puck as Logan Stankoven looks ahead. This will be pushed ahead by Evander Kane. Or lofted in. Jake Ottinger now back around Miro Heiskanen. And this is tipped. Right in off the rush for Benn. It's a 2-on-1 Stankoven. He scores! Jamie Benn! 1-0 Dallas! Yep.
You see Johnson create this play. Cody Ceci trying to pitch on Johnson, and that's what bit Ceci. And with Benn going to his right, that's what got the first goal.
You said it, Alec, because I'm watching that again in the replay in real time, and Skinner's playing pass, and Jimmy Benn's got the whole bottom right side of that corner to shoot. That's exactly where he places it. One shot, one goal, and immediately now I have those thoughts of Skinner in some of the previous games. Shoot with. Now an opportunity now is Seguin almost blew right down the middle, but that pass was picked up at the last moment. So Dallas scores on the first shot, and that puts the fans in the frenzy at American Airlines Center. Ceci now off the rush. It bounces off Ottinger, and Edmonton returns the favor. Are you kidding?
I think it's Connor Brown who got this one just like that. Connor Brown moved the Oilers side to a veteran. Wow. Just two quick goals and a Trice. What chaos here, John.
I can't believe that. You have the bottom six line again, who's been a pain in the you-know-what. You had Warren Fogle lead it, and then Ottinger just gives up the juiciest rebound of all. Is Fogle able to send it the other way? And as you said, Connor Brown picks up his own rebound after the pass. We're tied.
Yeah, it's Cody Ceci. Open up just enough on the 5-hole.
So Dallas's good starts turned away. Essentially, we start back into a brand new ball game like it was never been a goal here, but it's 1-1. 15-15 left to go in the first. I'm getting a little nervous, Alec. I'm going over my first period goal quota as it's Sam Steele back in behind the end boards now. Opportunity. Edmonton quickly pushes this the other way. Near the left side, trying to finish a hit. That was about 40 seconds apart, not even. As Issel and Dell send this one in and outstretch. This will be near the Texas D. And now an opportunity. Carrick, he'll watch. We'll get this one from Ekholm. He had nowhere to go. And this is right in the neutral zone now here for Dallas. Looking for Mason Marchment from a Duchene. Back in behind the net now, Edmonton. Trying to make this a clean pass. Good loft as this goes from dot to dot. Zach Hyman. He gets spun around the end boards. Dallas tried to steal. It's Vincent Desharnais. in through the wall traffic as this is picked up now. And toward the left side blue line. This is fired to the net. The skate hardly hit him right in the skate. He might have lost a blade as he gets back up. When he looks fine now. He just got stunned. This is opportunity for Duchene. Duchene will flip it in. 14:05 left to go in the first. It's already a goal apiece. Edmonton 3-1 on the shot board. Dallas scored on their only shot from Jimmy Benn. Connor Brown returned the favor shortly after. Opportunity back in behind the cage now for Darnell Nurse as Kris Knoblauch's forwards take a change. 50. This will be fired in. Jake Ottinger's got to be clean with this. He was not for a moment. And now Dallas, stutter step behind their own net for Chris Tanev. He's got to make a decision with it. It bounces. It'll stay in play. Evander Kane will pick up his defenseman. Will go all the way back in his own net. Again, 1-2. Edmonton took the opener 3-2 in double OT. We've already had a couple quick goals. Benn's on the ice again. This goes to Johnston. What a save for Skinner. That might have been blocked out in front. That was right in front of the slot. This one goes back down. Now for Petrovic as he takes a big hit. Now right to left comes Dallas as this goes now to the right side. Tyler Seguin trying to join in. Still trying to find this in between a couple windmills and stick lifts. McLeod. They are able to get this out as Edmonton. And this outstretched pass is an easy read. It's a battle. They're neutral. Derek Ryan. Send it the other way. McLeod with a wrister. This one goes wide. Fogle will try to pick it up. And Edmonton off the back skate with Matthias Ekholm will slow it down off the pass. It gets blocked off one of the stars. He'll go back to Bouchard. Bouchard now will send it in from 100. This will work out. Opportunity now. Hyman off the spin. But he loses it. Heiskanen able to steal that puck away. Sam Steele, tied to Landria. He gets it for Steele. This is way too hard. It goes to the players' bench trying to play. But we've got a quick start here, Alec.
We do. Just the way that bookings like it. Around 44 seconds apart. And for those who are living in the state of Oklahoma, we stay safe out there in the midst of the tornado watch that's going on there. Please remember to take cover in your basement or in the innermost room at the lowest floor of your house if you are under a tornado warning.
Yeah, it's a good shot out there. Man, oh man, I wasn't even aware of that weather situation down there, but it can get a little crazy. So hopefully everyone able to stay safe, stay up, and hopefully nothing happens to any of the houses over there, because once a tornado hits, man, oh man, it doesn't take much.
It doesn't. If you remember what happened in 2013 with the Norman tornadoes, that was the most devastating in Oklahoma's history.
So Jamie Benn, 3:39 in this first from Wyatt, Johnston, and Heiskanen. That one off the rush, off of a low wrister in the left corner, and then Connor Brown after a Jake Ottinger rebound. 4:23 quickly after from CC and Fogle. Those are your goals. Ottinger 2 of 3. Stuart Skinner pretty much doesn't have a save yet. He's got 0 of 1 at this point, but 12:21 left to go in this first. Again, I think we know what we thought we might see, but honestly, I didn't expect to get this many goals already because the entire first period of Game 1, there were some chances, but there were no goals. And maybe this game, as you said, Alec, is more like what both teams want, pushing the pace.
Who knows if it's going to be another tight outcome, perhaps a type of outcome that would be a 5-4 type of contest if we were to see these goals come more and more in bunches.
It definitely could, as we talked about. There is a lot. See, honestly, I will go out on a record and say this. I think there will be more goals scored in this series on a game-by-game basis in between Dallas and Edmonton, more so than Florida and New York. I think that one's going to be a little bit tighter because of the goaltenders, the defense, and everything else. This one should be more. Is Joe Pavelski. He'll finish one of his hits in the left side red line. It's very loose. He's near the right dot. Skinner, this one bounces, does not hit him. And now Edmonton able to get another block, push the other way. Draisaitl. Here's a setup pass, and Ottinger They'll try to fall on it. I don't hear a whistle, but bodies are everywhere. This will go down the ice. Is this going to be blood? It is. That was a little bit weird.
Yeah, what's weird is it was staying down for a couple seconds with Oettinger getting crowded by all sorts of bodies left and right. We were wondering where the whistle could potentially be. We didn't hear one at first, but now we do have a whistle. It's just not for a stoppage of play at Oettinger. The Oilers almost had another one with Evander Kane right over the right pad of Oettinger. Somehow stayed out.
Yeah, that one was a lot closer than I initially called in terms of the mad scramble. As you mentioned, the Evander Kane, if we would have left it, it would have been 2-1. And Dallas probably would have been wondering where the whistle was if that would have went in. Connor McDavid off the backhand, and Oettinger makes his best save of the game so far.
Now we do have a tight close-up with McDavid on the backhand wraparound. That's something that you would want to see more. If you're going on wraparounds, it'll be more on the forehand, but McDavid being the best player in the world and being one of the most skilled players in the NHL, he probably should have had that one. I thought he should have had that. Just went off the thinner end of the stick.
Yes, it did. Evander Kane looked toward the skies. Offensive zone draw win. Connor trying to get this amongst the boards. Connor McDavid, again, everybody's probably battling an injury this type of time of year. Explosive to me in this game than I can ever remember throughout this series or previous ones before that. Again, he's got the one in double OT. This one goes out the side of the net from Hyman, and all of his it's really buzzing. Hyman had nowhere to go. Dallas able to get the steal. A chip and chase play for Stankoven. And this is back to the defense. They'll slow up. Opportunity to try to take this one left to right. But Edmonton, I think, has had the better play right now. We've said that through game one as well. It's really shocked me. Not that Edmonton isn't a good team. They deserve to be here. The penalty kill has been excellent. All of that. But Dallas facing another press, and we've had some of those talks about Dallas is not going to be Vancouver and struggle for offense, but they're struggling right now. Richard, if he didn't fade on that, that could have been a wide open net. My goodness, he went right down the middle of everybody. Opportunity now for Matthias Ekholm. We'll just slap shot it around the inboards. Takes a crazy carom right to Miro Haskin, and this will be lofted. Here's an outstretched reach for it. Dallas trying to get on this puck to create something off the forecheck. Again, it's pretty fortunate considering those last few chances. I'm changing my tune pretty quickly here. Connor Brown able to get this one out, and this will bounce toward the right side. Dallas keep it in. Good Skinner on Seguin.
That would have been his 6th goal of the playoffs thus far. Hyman Seguin has been on a heater ever since the second round. And he was looking to get on the board there. He had a wide open look all alone at the slot off the one-time. He aimed for glove side on Skinner. Skinner kept that out for his first save of this game.
And Tyler Seguin looked like me when I don't score on an open net in NHL 24. That look of disgust and maybe bewilderment as we go to break.
Well, you wanted to have the taste of Turkish food, and that's what you want to have. Ironic I'm saying this because that's a nice Turkish food too for dinner before this.
That's a pretty good call there on your part, Alec. You got some good food. That's what you want to have on a weekend side. Shots are 9-2 Edmonton. Hits are 6-3. Faceoffs 5-3. All in favor of the Oilers right now as we got halfway through the first. Are you surprised at all?
And that's not what it looks like if I was playing NHL 24 in semi-pro mode. And I do shot boards. It sounds like that the Oilers are taking this offense to another level right now. More so to where we can say it's two ends of the spectrum. You got offensive explosion on the Western Conference Final, battle in the Eastern Conference Final. To this date, if you want to include 6-game series and 7-game series, the lowest scoring 6-game playoff series to date as of now, the 2002 Eastern Conference Final of a combined 16 goals between the Canes and the Leafs.
Yeah, so we'll see if that continues on the side in between the Rangers and the Panthers. I feel like it could. I mean, game two, that was pretty wonderful. Again, if you're a Panthers fan, that probably hurt a little bit, but that was the answer that you needed to see. And I'm glad that you said it to me that way for the Rangers because You really needed to see that again on the other side because Florida really took care of business in game one. And then you go back in and respond. I mean, you covered that game the other day as we switched another one possession game, both of those there. So Dallas Stars want to return the favor, try to get this even as the Mavericks are already up two and they're going home. As this is an opportunity now. Back around for Ryan. I'll send this to his defense. Here's a wrister. It's saved by Ottinger easily. How do you Timberwolves series so far? Those have been two nail biters.
It's too close to call, even though the Mavs are up 2-0. I'm not going to say the series is over right now. A series doesn't end after 2 games. It's not a best of 3 series. You have to play the games. Minnesota can get back in this. They came back. They were up 2-0 against the Nuggets. Now they're the ones down 2-0 against Dallas. It's doable for Minnesota. You got to tighten up defensively. You have to go man-on-man situations. But that was a good screen by Dallas to force a switch to Rudy Gobert on Luka to get the primary defender for Luka.
I think the coaching and everything else has grown alongside Jason Kidd as well. They got everything kind of locked in, and they're looking pretty good right now. We'll see what they can do when they play tomorrow night. Here's an opportunity for Edmonton off the rush again. Bouchard, he was leading the charge. Here's a pass alongside Hyman. McDavid, this puck is... We are getting a penalty.
Okay, I thought this was going to be for the puck being frozen behind the net, but we're getting a high sticking penalty. Evan Bouchard seems to have drawn this penalty from behind. We're seeing Lindell. I think he's going to go to the box.
You got it right, Alec. Right at the 10:50 marker of the first, Lindell will sit. Let me see. He got a cross check and then a hold. And then I'm not sure what Bouchard was reacting to because I didn't see it hit him at the end, but he's in the box.
Yeah, I feel he tried to sell it.
Yeah.
I think Bouchard tried to sell this one on the high stick. Yeah, I think he sold this one.
That's a pretty good masterful sell. I should say masterful, not pretty good. That was a masterful there. So now Dellandrea has to try to get this one against Draisaitl. Good luck there. And this will go back, and maybe fortunate for the Stars, we'll get to do this draw again.
Now I know if you're going back to the Mavs T-Wolves series, if you're Minnesota, you have to tweak some things up. If you want the primary, you want a secondary defender on Luka. If you're going off the screen, nails on him, but you want to get Nickel Alexander Walker on him. Rudy Gobert is more of the paint defender. You want to get an arc defender.
I agree with you completely. Anyone that does not, I think needs to go back to defense school because you don't need Rudy Gobert trying to defend threes. It didn't work for the few years. The Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert Jazz when Dallas took them apart. Connor McDavid off the drop for Bouchard. Have to find the entry again. Edmonton's first power play. Again, they only got one of those in game one, but they killed 5 penalties. So Dallas does not take very many penalties. So we'll see if Edmonton can just find a way to get something here and take the lead. They're already 10-2 on the shot board. This is a center on the inboards from McDavid to Draisaitl. Lofted back to Connor. We'll take this one to RNH. Send it back to his defense now. Let everybody get set. Here's an opportunity now for Edmonton. That's Bouchard. He thought about shooting it. This one will just be a weird-looking pass. Back to Connor McDavid in an attempt. See if he can get a stick on it. And now Dallas, they won't touch this puck because they'd have too many Draisaitl. Draisaitl now slow up near the right side wing. No wait. He's still patient. Send it back to Bouchard. Power play down to 35 seconds. Bouchard. Draisaitl. Still trying to find something. Right to the right side red line. It's an opportunity for RNH. RNH back to Draisaitl. They're not shooting until now. This bounces up in the air. Picked up now for Hyman for a moment. RNH did not inch. This is kept in by Bouchard. Opportunity now for Draisaitl. He'll spin. This is McDavid over the net. And this one gets sticked away. Edmonton still with it. Connor McDavid against the left wall. Extra pass, trying to find Draisaitl. One-tee it. This is McDavid. Lindell. as they can't get a shot during that power play. And Bouchard, as it went out, up the back in. So Dallas survives, blows a tire, and behind their own left side red line. That was a little odd. We've seen a few of that now. From Tanev, who fell down. Picked up now Darnell Nurse off the tie-up. It's Evander Kane. Edmonton rush the other way, trying to make sure they get the stick on puck. I'll send this one in. Miro Heiskanen under a couple saves, rebounds, and it's not loose again. No whistle for whatever reason. Here's a wrister, and now we get one in the glove.
Another one of those weird sequences. We had two of those already. So Jake Archer outed by multiple shots. The Oilers down to double-digit marker on the shot board. The Archer's doing a good job of manning his crease. Like that from the Otter.
And Alec, I gotta mention this because Eddie Olchuk's going T-side. I don't blame him. There's no whistles there, as we mentioned, but Jake Ottinger, he is not succumbing to the pressure. He's not expecting anything. He's just making the saves that he's got to make, and he's staying poised, isn't he?
Yeah, even if the puck was under his pads and the whistle's not blown there, I feel Stars fans have to be upset about.
Ottinger has been brilliant in this period. Again, 12 of 13 right now. I know he's given up a goal, but honestly, the way that it's been, Edmonton could have 3 or 4 right now. This has been a really excellent first period for them, even though it's tied. Jamie Benn off the rush, that was essentially their only shot. They got 2 shots, and first, this is not the start that Dallas wanted. I don't think they expected Edmonton to punch them right in the mouth, and they might have to exchange the favor at Rogers. Cody Ceci now leading the rush, and when you're seeing him lead the rush, start to get a little bit concerned if you're Dallas, because then everybody's activating at this point. Kulak trying to get his net from Skinner. It'll be picked off the left side red line and flipped in by the Stars. See if the Victory Green can get anything going toward the end of this first period, when I will be switching it back to Alec for the second. This is now sent in. Opportunity for Harley. I'll send it back around one more time. Petrovic. This will be an opportunity for Evgeny Dadonov. First time we get a chance to call his name. He's been pretty good in these playoffs. This will stay in. Fake the slapper. Now toward the right side. Dallas. Seguin again gets robbed. My goodness. He's been all around it during the postseason. Opportunity now. Dadonov. What a loss. Esselindell. Wyatt Johnston, one-timer block. That was Dadonov, excuse me. Is this one sent in now the other way? Dylan Holloway, one-handed. He bowls over everybody, and the net gets loose.
Oh, my goodness. That was a car crash. Holloway getting ran right into. Kris took Kris Tannen with him. Ottinger maybe feeling something as the net got up. Do we have a bit of something here? Maybe a power play for Dallas? We don't know. Ottinger's feeling it.
Dylan Holloway and Tanev got smoked there on the opportunity. He got bowled over like a bowling ball. We'll go ahead and take a half and half commercial we talked about. We'll see if we get any calls out of that, but looks like everybody's okay. 5 minutes left to go in the first. We'll take a break.
It feels like everyone's okay for this current moment between both sides, but that was heavy by Holloway on Tanev. It was a bigger impact than what we would expect. Ottinger was getting the bulk of that for them.
So I know I mentioned him earlier, Alec, and I hate to press the repeat button so soon, but if you're grading Ottinger's performance right now, you got to give him at least an A, correct?
Yeah, I'll give him at least an A for this. No matter how many these shots that he is facing, no matter how much the offense or the Stars speaking about the Draisaitl for the Stars,
No.
whatever, as far as that Jamie Benn goal. So far, I'll give Ottinger full marks on this one.
Yeah, I think you have to, and I'm expecting. I think I put this in the vote side. Do you think the Oilers will steal game 2 as well? Well, we already got some Oilers fans in here with a couple votes, both of them saying playing. I wouldn't be surprised at this point, although I would be completely shocked, to be honest with you, if this game is done and I see the Oilers on the right side of the scoreline, because I'll just say it as plain as day. I know it's 5 minutes left to go in the first, but I expected better from the Dallas Stars right now. Again, as you mentioned, Vegas is the start, and the Stars did come back. but you can't keep getting yourself into those same habits. But also, it's one of the things I have to say this too, Alec. Maybe whatever the Edmonton Oilers are doing is truly bothering the Stars.
I feel what they're doing, yes, indeed, they are. Whether it be with the lights out, the suffocating defense from all top these units. Feels like the Oilers, they're truly bothering the Stars now. They may have said the same thing about the Golden Knights when they went up 2-0. Dallas can't come back, but feels like we need to see more of that because we're not seeing enough for the Stars. I did mention that they did have a fast start.
Really did. It evaporated before our eyes. And again, you look at the scoreline at 1-1, you're Dallas. You got to be real fortunate. It is again. And Connor McDavid from the double OT goal. And again, I'm watching him here in game 2. He's got an extra pep in his step, and this team is still playing well. Sign it for the Stars. Tons of time left to go in this game, but the shot board should not be 14-3 with 4:30 left to go in the first. This will go all the way down, and Dallas does not ice it. There is no whistle again. This is going to be a curious one. I might just have to time the title of the story, no whistles at this point. Connor McDavid, he gets tripped. This is now and around the end boards here. Dallas try to put it the other way. But pick it back up in their own end. See if they can get going here. Here's Heiskanen. He's one that can get it done. We'll take the wrist shot right off the rush. I don't think it was a bad idea. This one will be hand grenaded in deep off the missed shot. Dallas now gets the interception mistake of it. Heiskanen takes a hit. Stays on his feet, trying to get it back to Logan. Jamie Benn throws a puck out in front. It bounces off of Skinner. Edmonton sends it back down the other way. 3:45 left to go in the first. John Hunter with you alongside Alec Nava. It's a 1. Connor Brown and Jamie Benn with the goals, but it's been all Edmonton with the shots. This is picked off. Sent in across the red line now. Harley, combination pass along the end boards. It is an opportunity. Wyatt Johnson off the spin, the 21-year-old getting some valuable postseason time. This one will try to retrieve his own puck. This is sent back around the end boards loose, and Edmonton does get a stick on it to bail out Skinner. Full rush the other way. Opportunity off the spin. Hyman, Nurse, he'll activate. He'll get his shot blocked. Into the right side red line. Dallas pursue this puck the other way. It's Mason Marchment. He'll funnel it in behind Edmonton's defense as this goes around the end boards. Now Duchene. Give a look now for Lindell, who finishes his check nicely. Dallas try to pinch to keep it in. Duchene still trying to get this near the right side boards. As Edmonton flip it back to Jake Ottinger. Will make a soft pass, and it's a good one to Lindell. Opportunity for the Edmonton forecheck. Dallas had to back up for a moment. Cody Ceci off the back skate from Dylan Holloway. He'll retrieve that pass. Ceci now try to send this one from left to right. It's picked off by Heiskanen and across. Opportunity near the right side boards. Draisaitl will be on Hunt. This is in behind the cage for Skinner. Good backhanded pass. Here's a race for the puck. Jake Ottinger makes the smart play. He'll hold against Evander Kane.
There's some ghost calls here. You did mention about no whistle because we're getting some smart plays by Ottinger and covering this one up, especially the last sequence, but still we see the shot disparity. 16-3 Edmonton. That needs to go up for Dallas on the other end.
I'm not saying this is going to happen, Alec, but the shot board pacing, if it kept that way all the way through, rough math would say 48-9 Edmonton over Dallas. That has to improve. As you said, it's absolutely bonkers from what we've seen in this first. Again, I can't imagine if you're Dallas, you'd have to be ready to start on time in this game. As you said, I mean, you're right at the finals. There is no easing into it at this point. You got to be ready. As this is now near the left side, spin, McDavid, good sauce pass. Back here for Hyman. Hyman now near the right circle. Edmonton patient running their offense. It's been a good period for them. As this is sent back in behind for Ekholm. Ekholm now. As this goes back to the left side end boards, tied to Landria. Kind of wonder what he's feeling out there getting a start here in this game, too. Maybe Peter DeBoer is trying to find some energy. Draisaitl This is tipped. McDavid a little wide. Opportunity now, Dellandrea. Dellandrea and steal. Dellandrea will take the wrister. This one goes on a play. 109 left in the first.
I would imagine that Dallas would need to start firing more and get these offensive zone face-offs towards their favor, winning them. Tied pointed out by Stuart Skinner, but you need to fire more deep into the zone. Just 4 shots in the first period is not going to do it.
I agree with you, wAlec, and I agree in the sense of tied to Landria there. Make the smart play, make the simple play. You're on the bottom lines. You want your coach to trust you. You want more ice time. Get shots on net and help your team. You did the right play there. We'll see if Dallas can get this draw, as you just talked about. They've been good in the circles, but not so much in this game right now. There's this one sent back down by Kulak. He iced it, though, so just less than a minute left to go. We'll try it again.
So this is your time to get the lead back. You scored the first goal. If there's a time to do it now, here it is. You want to pepper Stuart Skinner with more shots. Test them to the best of his abilities. He was tested last game, but you want to continue to test him now.
Yes, you do. Maybe that monster energy that was behind the glass, maybe the Stars need it right now. Miro Heiskanen, here's a ripper. Speaking of tests, this one goes high enough the end glass. Picked up now for the Stars. Heiskanen, flip it in. 40 seconds thereabouts to go in the first. John under with you alongside Alec Nava. It's a 1-1 score line, but that tells you not the entire story here, as Jamie Benn will get dispossessed. Long outstretch, it's Heiskanen again one more time on the steal. Try to shovel it ahead to Logan Stankovic, loose puck. And Wyatt Johnston, he was fortunate to get to it. Maybe Edmonton was even more fortunate. Johnston, as this off the spinning turn, down to 10 seconds. Dallas starting to buzz. Stankovic, that was off Skinner's dome. 5 seconds left. Picked up now. Lindell sends it in. Down to 2. We get a whistle, and I've certainly had the action on top of me in this first period. I'm not used to it.
Well, so now you're Dallas. What do you do with 3 seconds left? I would imagine that if there was a time that you want to pull the offensive zone, you have to do it less than 3 seconds if you're going to go the extra risk.
Yeah, if you want to, honestly, Alec, I don't think it's a bad idea. It's not really a chance for Edmonton to shoot this thing the length of the ice and score. Logan Stankovic, that was a serious stick handle. This will be Edmonton, but that was an eventful first period. Shots on goal, yes, you're going to hear this correctly. 16-5 Edmonton as we go to break after 20, tied at 1.
Dallas was buzzing at the end of the first period. Just to start up the second period on a similar rush of energy with them. Good ending for them. I'll say that was all Oilers in that first period. The 16-5 shot differential spaced as to such that power play helped them to some degree as they were continuing sustained puck possession.
Yeah.
The Oilers 5-on-5 has been the definition of this game.
Yes, it has. And again, you kind of wondered 5-on-5. How do the Oilers fare against the Dallas Stars, who are really well-rounded across the board? Yes, I know they're missing Roope Hintz. And when he does come back, maybe Game 3, Game 4 of this series, that'll be a boon for the Stars. But honestly, Alec, the answer is Edmonton's faring quite well 5-on-5. They're doing well. They do get chances, although we haven't seen a lot of that in this series because Dallas doesn't commit a lot of penalties. But 5-on-5, power play, penalty kill. Edmonton, they're handling everything that Dallas has been able to throw at them. And honestly, the Oilers have been throwing more of the punches in this series so far.
That's a shocking thing for us to say here, John. Stars be throwing the more punches, but here come the Oilers. Somebody to note the Stars are actually doing better on the road this postseason rather than have their home ice, which is weird.
It is weird. And again, Dallas is one of the teams, as you mentioned. I know you've thrown this out there before, like the best record on the road in comparison to any teams. A really good home team. I think as we sit here in the first 20 minutes in the intermission, and I'm Kris Knoblauch, I say, give it a period before I go ahead and make these comments that I'm about to make. I'll pretend I'm Kris Knoblauch and say this, Alec. We're not satisfied with a 1-1 series split at this point. Hell, it certainly doesn't look like it. It looks like the Oilers are ready to take both of these games. If Dallas does go down 2-0 in this series, they're going to have to find a way to at least win one at Rogers. And honestly, I think for the way that the Oilers are playing, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, if the Oilers go up 2-0, I think they'll go back to Dallas at worst 3-1.
That could be a possibility, knowing the Oilers. You remember, for as good as the Stars are on the road, the Oilers are 28-9-4 in the regular season at home. Dallas 26-10-5 on the road. But at the same time, Dallas is 26-11-4 at home during the regular season. So, but that's not really mattering much. Even with the Oilers on the road being 21-18-2, and also Vegas was also 18-17-6 on the road during the regular season. In Colorado, 19-16-.
Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned that too, because completely different records the other way in comparison what we're dealing with the Oilers. Again, it's one of the situations for me where I think I have to give them more credit than I even thought it was going to be the situation, because I told you honestly when we covered the first game in between Florida and New York, I would be surprised if the Oilers even win a game and get this to 5. That was my max. I wouldn't even be surprised if there was a sweep. Well, that possibly watching 90, 110 now, if I can do the rough math, plus minutes of action here from the double OT. The Oilers, we talked about it, and I asked you whether or not they got a shot, and you said, let's wait and see. I'm still going to let you wait and see for the entirety of game 2, to be fair. But right now, it's probably started at 0, Alec, I'll admit to you. And right now, it's well over 60% here.
I may be with you the same thing. I was skeptical if the Oilers going to the Stanley Cup final. I even had them losing to the Canucks in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
And now that's going out the to believe in the Oilers. Perhaps it's increasing every minute that we watch this team. This is a team that we didn't think would get past the second in the first round. But so far, so good under Kris Knoblauch and Pavelski leading the way behind the bench. And this Oilers team is you make the low-key additions at the deadline. And even though Adam Henrique has not played a lot in the second round and the conference finals, the Oilers are showing maybe they're not needing him as of right now, but they can certainly use him once he is back and ready.
They could. I mean, they're still not using Corey Pitt. I thought would be a grit and sandpaper against the Stars, former star there. They're not using Sam Gagner. You got Matthias Janmark, Sam Carrick, Connor Brown, who've been a good fourth line. Honestly, that third line of McLeod, Fogle, and Derek Ryan, I think they've given me more offensive production than I.
Yeah, it feels like it's the names that you do not expect that would score the goals. That means Fogle, Brown, Janmark, even Brett Kulak and Cody C. go onto this list, because among the Burkhead defensemen, we did not expect Kulak and Cece to combine for 3 goals thus far in the playoffs.
And then also on the defensive side, which has been well documented at this point, Evan Bouchard. If the Oilers win the Stanley Cup, I'm not going to go throwing this out there. If they win the Stanley Cup, you know who's going to win MVP right now? Evan Bouchard.
I'll give you full marks of that one if Bouchard wins the Conn Smythe. I'm going to go Leon Draisaitl, but I'm not ruling out Bouchard from Conn Smythe voting if the Oilers win the Stanley Cup. Plus, a Stanley Cup for.
Yeah, that would be a heck of a storyline. I'm not going to disagree with you on Draisaitl either. It's just amazing. And I think the point that we're both getting to, which you both understand here with Paul Coffey and Kris Knoblauch and all of that, I know Evan Bouchard really is still a young kid, to be honest with you, but he's playing top line time. I mean, we said it a couple seasons ago with this first team, and we talk about defense. I think you and I could do our inner monologue and laugh, because there was no defense this team at all a couple of seasons ago, and yet they still made the Western Conference Finals. Now they already have a win in the bag, which that tells you that leads you to believe they made it farther than they did a couple of years ago already with one more win, but you still need 7 more. but they are giving everything that Dallas can handle right now. And I'm going to be so intrigued when you take over in this second period, because I'm going to lay it on the line right now for Peter DeBoer. You better come out on this next side of this 20 minutes and punch the Edmonton. Throw a couple haymakers of your own and show you. I think the way the Oilers are playing, they're locking it down and they're playing well. But if I'm Dallas, I want to make this comparison too. Don't play with your food anymore. Go back out there and dominate this next 20. If I don't see this completely change for Dallas if we hit the third period. So I'll be really interested to see how Dallas comes out in your second and what you have to call.
You feel the Oilers are exploiting the Dallas defense as of right now. The Stars, the first two rounds, were as good as they were offensively, they were not really that way. 11 out of 16 playoff teams and 5-on-5 goals per hour. Success was largely driven by the fact that they allowed just 1.5 goals against per hour at the 5-on-5, which is personally by a significant margin. And that's thanks to Jake Ottinger. The major factor to defensive success was the pairing of Esa Lindell and Kris. Not to mention about Thomas Harley and Miro Heiskanen driving the offense on the back end. But what about everyone else for Dallas? They're relying on 5 defensemen because it's pretty much a and Alex Petrovich as a 6th defenseman. On the other 5, which you include Ryan Suter, that makes Peter DeBoer is relying heavily on those 5. And then it's a toss-up for the 6th defenseman. You need to have the depth show up.
Yeah, you do. And again, I want to hit on the point that you just made because I agree with you. In the sense you defenseman there for Dallas, they've already played a 7-game series against the Vegas Golden Knights. You had a double OT Matt Duchene winner against the Colorado Avalanche, almost essentially playing 7 games there too, considering that extra time. And you had 5 defensemen, as you mentioned. Is Dallas now, and their back-end defense especially, they're probably starting to feel it at this point right now during the playoff run, correct? I mean, you got to manage that ice time and do so correctly. And as you said, everyone else has to help out because I imagine Dallas, they're getting pretty exhausted at this point.
Yeah, you're starting to wear it now. They're wearing it. It's just starting to catch up to them. The wear and tear on their bodies, maybe feeling it there. Plus, if you realize about Dallas, if they do get out here, you do realize to take care of business with Duchene, the UFA, Thomas Harley's an RFA as well. So those 2 are your big priorities.
Well, I'll tell you this, Alec, from what you just told me, those 2, I am sitting down with them as soon as the season's over and I'm able to starts. They're not going anywhere. And I imagine that Duchene's going to get a heck of a lot more money than he did essentially from the buyout. And the way Harley's played as a top-line D-man, he's going to cost you some big bucks.
And he's gonna. So if you were to keep him around with Heiskanen on the long term, say you were to start for a young relation this season, would you start around $7 million?
So how old is Harley? Do you know?
He's 22.
Holy cow. Yeah, you know what, Alec, considering that the cap is going up and all that too, I think 7's probably a fair number. I think if I am considering everybody else that I got signed and I want to in the future, I might try to maybe get him to go 6.5.
Yeah, you want to keep it team friendly so that you can also count for Duchene.
Yeah.
And to keep around Sam Steele and Craig Smith potentially for another year. He's doing another contract. Scott Wedgwood is doing another contract. As Kris, I don't know if he's going to stay or not. And Joe Pavelski, because he's 39, perhaps he goes for a Patrice Bergeron type of contract.
Yeah, that's where I would go if Joe Pavelski wants to stay. I think he would be more than happy to do so, especially if the Stars do win the Cup. I don't think you have to worry about Joe Pavelski. When you make that trade deadline acquisition with the Calgary Flames, I know we talked about this game 1 wasn't particularly good for Lindell and Tanev, but it's arguably been one of their better pairings. I make the move for Tanev. I think I want to hold on to him for another maybe short-term deal, 2-3 years, something like that.
Yeah, you could.
I think that's where I'm going to look with as far as Jim Nill, because you're locking everything up, and then if you're future-proof and stuff, I mean, look, Wyatt Johnston, Logan Stankoven, they're going to command some money. The good thing with that is by the time that they do, Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn's deals will be done. Jamie Benn, the captaincy, things are going to definitely kind of move around, but there is a lot to do with this team. Yes, the Stars are very good, but young players who are budding into their own at the same time. And essentially, what that means is you're going to have to put a lot of money in the pocketbooks. It's not going to be easy to keep this team around, I don't think.
No, you want to account for the youth. They're coming up. That means Johnson, Farley, and Stankoven. They've all came up, not to mention. You want to also account for the rest of the youth. Ty Ledger could be another option for you to in the long-term stretch. And some of the other prospects down the middle. Erickson Martino, to name one of them.
For Ty Dellandrea, I know a couple seasons he was starting to percolate a little bit. He has not found the same ice time. He's been a little bit more of a healthy scratch. I think of Ty Dellandrea. The fortunate thing for Dallas is, with all the prospects and everything else that you just mentioned, they could probably get Dellandrea for more of a prove-it type deal where they won't have to pay him that much. That'll be good for Dallas, but it'll be interesting to see how Jim Nill kind of circumnavigates this whole thing, gets everybody signed, keeps them all happy, because the way that you and I both expect it, the Dallas Stars should be a cup contender for the next several seasons. But as Alec just mentioned, we went through these contracts. It's going to take a little bit to keep them all together. And it's also going to be interesting when Seguin and Benn are done, as we talked about, between the 9 respectively going over for the 2 guys there. They're signed long-term right now, but the next 3-4 years, they'll be out. That's a lot of money coming off the books with the cap going up. But as we just said, the youngsters making that big push, they're going to command a lot of money. So it's going to be interesting to watch the Stars. We already know what's going to happen with the Edmonton Oilers. You still got McDavid and Draisaitl, but every year that passes across for them and they don't get this done, there is a possibility that one of them may not be on the Oilers. Neither of us are saying that right now, but that is the sand in the hourglass we've been talking about for years.
It may be trending towards that direction, but who knows who's going to be out here for the Oilers. We don't know if it's Draisaitl, and we don't know if it's McDavid. Do remember, our captain for Draisaitl, 12.5 for McDavid. That's what is the money books here, especially when Evan Bouchard is doing pay rate 25.
What kind of money do you think Evan Bouchard commands?
I feel top defenseman money.
The way he's played right now. And I will say this, when you talk about Draisaitl possibly getting MVP, I probably should lean that way. I was saying Evan Bouchard eye-poppingly good. I think Ken Holland will secretly hope that Evan Bouchard doesn't win it, because that's going to be another thing in the clause where he's going to demand more money. Because if we're talking tops money for Bouchard, we're talking close to about 10.5 in the neighborhood or more. And I don't think the Oilers can exactly afford that, but they also can't afford to let Evan Bouchard walk.
You can't. So you want to hope that Draisaitl wins the contest to an extent, because he's your guy that you want to get a pay raise and you want to pay up heading into 2025. David's due for a new contract in 26. The Bouchard, give me 10.5 million. But that may mean you may have to be forced to move Darnell Nurse and retain some salary.
Yep, that's exactly where I was going to go. As soon as you mentioned Darnell Nurse, you're going to be retaining about half of that cap. And honestly, if you're Edmonton, you might have the penalty for that, but you have to, because Darnell Nurse, again, we talk about the plus minus with Vincent Desharnais. It's not been good. And again, he's making close to $10 million. He's making top defenseman money. He is not playing anywhere near a third-line defense, to be honest with you. I'm not trying to throw smoke at Darnell Nurse, but it's just not been good. And I don't think Edmonton can find a way to even keep him. They're going to have to take a pay cut, and they're going to have to eat some of that money, as you said.
Yeah, they will. They have to send him over to somewhere where it's a less pressure environment. I feel that $9.25 million may come from the fact about, if you were to account for taxes in Canada, and not to mention about how high pressure of an environment it may be.
Darnell Nurse, welcome to the Columbus Blue Jackets, ? Or maybe a team like that?
You may have to ask GM of the Columbus Blue Jackets.
I heard about that. Is he just stepping down, or did they decide that they were done with him?
He announced his resignation from the Hurricanes after he
Wow.
sought permission to seek for other GM vacancies around the league. And now they promoted Eric Tolsky to interim general manager. Even if it's, I think it's well deserved for him.
Alec, I'm going to say this not knowing anything about the insides of the Carolina organization. Oh, we see Dirk there. That's pretty cool. I think that's so well run. Any name that you get on is going to be just fine.
They will be just fine with Tolsky leading the way at GM. We also have Travis Kelce in attendance here in Dallas, Texas. As an old tweet, I really love hockey. I haven't stepped on the ice since I quit after playing 8 years. But that's got to change. I miss it too much. Most 10 from a decade ago.
That's a smart. I know you're going to get set to take the second period. What are you expecting? I laid my thoughts out there that the Stars need to get a complete reversal here, but what are you thinking is going to happen?
As you said, complete reversal of that first period. Tighten up on the offensive more and more. 5 shots in the first period, that's not going to cut it. So you want to get everyone involved, including your top guys, Jason Robertson, Wyatt, and even throwing Matt Duchene in the mix. He had a double overtime winner against Colorado. This puck goes out of play to begin the second period. 14 seconds. Towards Skinner. That you want to tighten up. You gotta fire more on Skinner.
Yeah, you wonder when Roope Hintz does come back, is he going to slate right in the top line, or are they going to keep Matt Duchene? Because Matt Duchene's already got a lot on his plate. Joe Pavelski's line's out there right now. Alec's going to take it away in the second period.
I was thinking more the lines of Robertson, Hintz, Stankovic on the first line. Should Hintz come back? This 4 straight game that he's missing with an upper body injury. It's not specified what type of injury on the upper side of his body is that. But I imagine it is there. It is lingering. 30 seconds into the second period. For 7 consecutive game, what was now specified as an ankle injury. So we do have the specifics of it. The Oilers are the attacking end. It's Kane on the hole, whacked around, trying to get this off. But the Dallas defense too much for him. There were 3 defenders around him. This puck goes back for Seguin. He has 2 goals so far. Here's Matt Duchene's point of defense. That is caught by Skinner. 55 seconds in, he'll hold on.
Well, it's a good call from Alec Nava per usual. Matt Duchene, easy read off the turnover. Makes no mistake, he tries to lift the thing top right corner. Snazzy glove save there from Stuart Skinner.
If we speak of surprises that we see that the Oilers are giving the Stars a run for their money here in this Western Conference final, how about another surprise? No for the Pacers, no problem.
That is a huge one. We'll have to look at that during the break. I got to ask you about TJ McConnell.
Yeah, and Ben Shepard, that's a shot. That was kicked up by Skinner. Far corner now picked up by Stankovic from Gretzky's office. Continue to look. Sends up Justin. Short side. Second chance. That is stopped by Skinner twice. And Stankovic gets it back. Back for Lindell. Near corner, he cycles this through. Kulak beat them out to it. Jamie Benn there. Stankovic there. Johnson also there. Benn the youngsters. Do you remember Ben was on a line with Erie Lennon and Mike Modano previously? Johnson on the takeaway. And is forced behind the net. Near corner. Shoved out by Kulak. Ben helps out. He's doing get up. Stankovic hit the side of the cage. It is Johnson with this. Back over to Kris, who holds it just inside the line. Back over to the near corner. Stankovic one more time. Stankovic looks back over to Tanev. Holds it. Cycles this through. Out by Kulak. Oilers are trapped. Trying to get out. Stick with by Tanev. He once again keeps this one in. Near corner. Johnson spun around. Reaching their spin. There's Seguin out there on the ice. Seguin canceled out, and now here's Kane with this. Good hold by Lindell. Dallas is back with this, but taken away. Kane, curling drag move. Now it's blocked off the stick of Lindell, and out to the safety that it goes.
Smart plays for both teams there. Kane had to take that shot because Dallas another chance off the rush. Logan Stankovic been very patient and behind the cage of Skinner, who already makes a couple saves. And it looks like that backhand for Wyatt Johnston hit the inside of the post and stayed out.
The inside the crossbar, it almost went far down and hit it.
That is crazy action, but as we said, this is what we expected from Dallas. They got to keep it going.
Yes, fast turnaround here. They have the first three scoring chances here in the second period. Ottawa plays it out. Over to the left side for Hastings. Hastings stretch pass over to Donna. That went off a skate, and here comes 97 back with this. Lead pass for RNH. Back is McDavid. Can't get beat out as is Hastings. Marley on the whack. Good hold by Nugent-Hopkins. Cycles this one behind the net for McDavid. McDavid, short side, trying to backhand this one through. Was beat out to it. The Don outside. Hopkins, bouncing puck back with the Stars. Seguin has taken away. Here's Nugent-Hopkins. Hello, Hyman. Auditor runs into him. Here, lifts this one through, but he has Echo. Will swat this one away, and up one goes, and that will stop the action.
Well, Odger is going to have to re-snap his mask together and get locked in. He's already been locked in. Hyman was there trying to set a screen. He's stuck on a back skate there from RNH and got nowhere to go. And Jake Odger has been on top of the action the entire game.
Odger got first contact on Hyman. Do we believe that was Hyman backpedaling, which caused Odger to launch forwards towards Hyman?
That's certainly what it looked like there. Now Skinner has to try to play this puck.
Rex Smith trying to get something going for the Stars. It's not going to happen here. Nurse leads the way. Too far from Fogle. Odger played away from Fogle. On the near side, Petrovic leads the way over to Smith. Nolandria over to the far side. ARD was there and gets it out. Dallas back up with this at neutral ice. Fogle sends it back over to the Dallas end. First to it is Brian McLeod. This third line being a very consistent line. Fogle had it knocked away by Petrovic. And the lead pass to the far side for Ty Delangers. Insert back into his lineup for the first time since game 6. And on this clear, this is Darnell Nurse back the other direction. Leading the rush. Outside Duchene. Backhands this one past Monitor. It will be recollected by Kris. Tanev lead the way for the near side. Oilers were over that. Here's Auditor to the far corner. And Sutter will play this one over. Now over the ice. First there, Pavelski holding on to it. At Duchene helping him out. Duchene going drag over to the far side. Good keep by Liddell. Kolak cut that pass away from Pavelski. And his bouncing puck up high. Some Stars fans thought this was going to be out of play. Still in play as Carrick got it back over to Skinner. Skinner backhand is over to his left for Bouchard. And a stretch pass. Here comes Matthias Janmark. Waiting for him to find something. But around this goes for one Holloway. No passing lane there. And Dallas will be back up with this. On the far side. They were tied up with this as two Oilers are right there, including Kane. Lead away for Holloway. Holloway past Hastings and he gets it back. Holloway sandwiched towards the wall on the near corner. Stagger took it away for a split second. The Oilers are back with this. Along the backhand from the point. Now lost Holloway near corner. Lead away for Draisaitl. Pass too far for him, but he gets it back. On the right point is Cece. Walk shot. This one deflected high and wide. Late pass up front. Nothing doing there for Kane. It's tried by Holloway. Back behind that. Kane sent for Draisaitl. Draisaitl looking toward the point. By Cece. Cece, a low one. This one out of a stick. And it went out of play. 87 miles an hour on the shot.
Screen out in front of Jake Ottinger there. That thing went way out of the stick. Again, tomorrow it's going to be an interesting time slot in the weekend. 3 p.m. as they go back to Emirates Bank. 1-1 between the Rangers and the Panthers. So make sure you watch that one early on Sunday.
For his first home game for his favorite team, the Stars.
Kilometers, but we're not using, I guess we're using kilometers. That's usually a Canadian measurement.
Yeah, it's the metric system. The hero system. That shot went wide for net goal. Connor McDavid tried to hold his deck of a baseball bat at this one out. Bouchard leads the way for the Nuge as he dumps it in over to the forward corner. Tanev the first there. McDavid holds it. McDavid cut away by Johnson, helping him is Hyman. Hyman shot up high and wide. Tanev there, looking to get this away from McDavid. Spins around. Style. Can't get this one out as Bouchard holds it in from Benn. Bouchard's second try at it. Dallas gets it out. Leading the way for Benn at the right point. Backhand is one over to the near corner. Johnson has a lead pass up front. What a save! Seguin for a split second, spun away by Nugent. Nugent takes it away. R&H, directing his own over to the right side. Handled down by Ryan Suter. Suter back pass through the middle. Here comes the rush for Dallas. Dadonov up and around. Dadonov looking for some passing options. Near corner, spun over, sharp angle. And falling on it was Seguin. And finally, this play is whistled dead as it reaches Skinner.
Well, I hope they show that again because I want to say I think Stuart Skinner got that with the paddle of his stick as he was facing the wrong way. Johnson put it toward. It's to Donov. He reaches out and then the stick to Donov was right there. How Skinner got a piece of it, but the Oilers defense cleans that up. I guess that's why you paid Darnell Nurse the money. And then a cross check against Seguin the other way. We'll see if that one gets called. But yet again, as we go to break, that was another 15 seconds or so where I'm waiting for the whistle to be blown, but I guess the refs don't want to do that today.
I guess not, especially the crew of Garrett Rank and Johnny Murray. But we do have a penalty out of this. It's going to go against Nurse. Interference as Tyler Seguin drew that power play for Dallas.
Yeah, he got hit pretty good in front of the net, so that is the right call. That's what we got here. Again, I was just making mention of what Alec just got before the break. So the Pacers have a 41-37 lead at the Fieldhouse. Again, they need that because they don't have Tyrese Halliburton. On the other side, inserted in the lineup, but he doesn't have any points, but he's the starter side of it. They still used TJ McConnell off the bench. I thought he made the starting guard. He's got 6, but Miles Turner with 12, Pascal Siakam with 13. I guess the big men getting it done, 6 of 7, 5 of 8 shooting respectively.
Seen a lot of slander towards Jason Tatum after game 2, after Jaylen Brown had that 40-piece. Well, it looks like Tatum about that slander. So far, despite the Celtics being down, he has 50 points.
Yeah, again, I agree with you completely. Every time, Alec, when you mention about Jason Tatum, anybody that throws any shade there toward Tatum, again, I always say is a top 5 player at worst. I don't understand it. Somebody like that on my team.
Yeah, I would as well. Bring him over to Houston, perhaps. If
Please.
that were to happen, as that last shot right went off the pad and off the mask of Skinner, as Dallas is now on the power play. But as we mentioned, we will look to a superstar like Jason Tatum on our team. He can play at a very high level. Johnson from Hazen and down low, this goes down his side. Benn had it poked away. And here comes Edmonton with this. That could have been Dallas. Straight penalty kill streak for the Oilers. Right there, this is Jamie Benn trying to get Dallas back to lead early. 5-4-5, the Oilers on the PK in game 1. Hopefully they can make it 20 on their end, but Dallas is looking to end that. Here's Robertson from Johnson, co-stop by McLeod. Excellent. A ripper! That's a stop by Skinner. Edmonton's trying to clear his McLeod. Run on near side. Good hold by Jamie Benn. Rips one. Plucked it from the left. And a third one. Didn't make it all the way there. He's over to the right side. Johnson across over to Robertson. Robertson dropped it to nobody. For the Oilers. McLeod's taking this casually as Vogelwinden just puts one up Ottinger. And to go over back for Dallas as they get their second out there. Robertson leads the way on the dump in. ARD is the first one there at the near corner. It's cut away from Robertson, and Edmonton gets it out. Thomas Harley leading the second unit. And over the right side, this drop pass for Duchene onto the outside on the entry. Lead the way is Marchment. Marchment drops back. Pass intercepted. Connor Brown, poke stop. No breakaway for him. Logan Seguin lead the way on this second unit now. Seguin around. Joe Pavelski, who used to be on this first unit, is now in the second unit. Pavelski poked away. Edmonton tries to clear, despite being deflected out, and they ruin as such.
Well, we did say what would we might see in between Edmonton and Dallas in the second period. Right now, all stars just funneling chances in front of the net. And right now, Stuart Skinner has had to play well, and he's responded.
He has answered the call here. Even though his save percentage is .889, 8 of 9 saves at this point in time. All right.
He's needed it right now off the push as we will do this draw again. Looks like Joe Pavelski going to get waved out for Matt Duchene against Draisaitl.
90 to the victory green. Off this faceoff, he loses. The Oilers get to it. Still out there by Duchene. He's got away. By Kulak for a split second. Gets it back. Draisaitl could be a 2-on-1 at the end of this. Draisaitl moves easy direction. Had it poked in the last moment. That's now 20 straight penalties killed. Back the other way for Dallas. Jerry pass up front. This one right in front of Skinner. Joe Pavelski on the key. Can't do much of that. The Oilers get to it. Edmonton trying to get this one out, and they do. Here's 97 back with this. McDavid, one-on-one, Seguin, shoved over to the near corner. Had it jostled free. Dallas moving up for the near side. Pavelski chopped away at it. Here is Duchene on the re-entry. Duchene, Bouchard watching him. Around this goes, and now it's Ekholm. At the near corner, now Skate is over. Bouchard is defensive partner. Off the far board, sent inside by Hyman. But Dallas is back with this. Tanev looks to get it out. A pass for just a bit. And now sends this one in. Tanev is the first to the puck. Trying to get it out. Can't do so at this moment. Smith was slowed down as Kane back with this. Opposite wall, sent in for McDavid. Marchment was winner, and that was Liddell. Hyman can't reach this loose puck. Dallas is getting over to the Edmonton zone. Bouchard, stretch pass over the middle, but this icing's going to be canceled out as a reach. And so, now we have a late shove by Ryan Suter on Ryan McLeod. Some Ryan on Ryan violence.
Yeah, I think Suter knew what he was doing there, just trying to show them that the Dallas Stars are here in this period, and they don't want the Edmonton Oilers to walk all over them. Honestly, I think this is a face-off that Edmonton really needs. Again, that first 10 minutes has been all Dallas, and if it was not for Stuart Skinner there, that penalty would have not been killed.
Yeah, if it wasn't for him, yeah, that penalty would not be killed. Well, Patrick Mahomes has responded back at Travis Kelce. Yo, get out of my arena.
That's good work there. Good tongue-in-cheek for both of the football superstars. Everybody loves the game of hockey.
Yeah, everyone has gained the recognition it truly deserves. Perhaps Mahomes and Kelce could be reunited for a potential game 5.
That could be fun to watch. Again, you want to be able to see this. It's a pretty fun game. A lot of things change during the playoffs, and you see the best of the best competition in any sports. But I think the NHL game, when it hits playoffs, it's completely changed more so than any other sport.
Yeah, this is the best time of the year for hockey fans. Based off his warm line, McLeod, this goes back over to Nurse. Nurse reps one. Glove down by Oettinger, who will hold on with 9:50 left in the second.
Not a bad idea. Edmonton needs some of those shots. They're kind of getting worked against in the second period. We're getting the pushback that we're seeing here. Again, only 2 penalties to speak of. Dallas doesn't take much, and Edmonton's not staying in the box as much. You got Connor Brown with his first from Cody Ceci and Warren Fogle at 4:23. That response was the Jimmy Benn goal. Wyatt Johnson from Miro Haskin at 3:39. It was a good time to do the reset anyway because I didn't know we were going to break. But Jake Ottinger, 17 for Stuart Skinner, 9 of 10. Again, his numbers have really jumped up in this second period. It is 18-10 on shots. Hits are now 10-8 Dallas, 15-11 Edmonton. So pretty even game. We've seen the pushback from Dallas here toward the first half of this second period. We'll see if that continues, and we'll also keep a monitor in between Boston and Indiana. Indiana has an 8-point lead, 48-40, with 7 minutes left to go in the second quarter.
17-8 push here in the second quarter. And a big shout to Lyles Turner's league to base. Of course, they're living up to their name, Pacers, because they like to play fast. Exactly how Indy fans think they're celebrating is just a weekend that they would love to have. You have 2 Pacers home games, both today and on Monday. And you have the Indy 500 as well. We're not sure if there's going to be a postponement for inclement weather that will push it back. Weekend for motorsports fans, considering that tomorrow you have Tacoma 600 and the Monaco Grand Prix.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot to do this weekend. I'll try to watch some of it a little bit on the off day Sunday before getting prepared. Admittedly, I'm not sure if I'm going to go ahead and cover Game 3 of this series. If it's just as good as it is from Game 1, I probably will have to again. Probably lean Oilers, Stars, and then New York and Florida. I'll be eager to jump back into that, but I'm going to try to find a way to get a Mavericks and T-Wolves game in there because you've had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, almost one smart to jump onto the Mavericks team series, but just like you, I decided to take an off day up until I saw the Rangers-Panthers game was close.
Yeah, that's the way it goes there. The assignments, and we're trying to find good matchups for all of you as this gets iced, and I think we have. This should be pretty fun through both respective conference finals, and then when we get into the NBA finals and the Stanley Cup finals, I know I lean one way. It's just too bad they play on the same days, because I would like to cover an NBA final at point two.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to do some more solo calls on NBA finals for what it seems, and action, if I can get Cooper and Ian on the Stanley Cup final match.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do. I know we usually lean 2-3 broadcast crew at most time. You take it away.
Here the Oilers on the attacking zone, even the better of the two teams in the first period. Here's Draisaitl moving inside, and a save by Hunter to the rebound. Can't be there. Dallas trying to take this one away. It's Bouchard in the hole. Near corner, McDavid pressure, and Dallas finally clears. The Stars need to do something up here. So far, they have 10 shots, but they've been the better of the two teams in the second period. But Edmonton's pushing back now. Kane or McDavid looks to the point over to Bouchard. Blocked inside by Cannon, who gets it over to Nava. The pass was tied up for Johnston. Johnston, big hit. Or the blow line. McDavid's rushing to this puck. He beats out Nava. Spun around by Nava, and McDavid finds the open man. Kane tied up on the shot by Benn. Kane holds it in. This goes backwards for 8 there. Both teams go for changes. 8:45 left in the second period. So it's been a roller coaster here. John is the majority of the goals. And here going some of the best action on the goaltending efforts. Here's Benn near corner. Reverse hits his man, but goes down on tumble from Echo. Seguin hit up high. Some fans are warning John to keep up around this goes. And beat out to by DeBoer, who lost his stick and went on a tumble. Oh, that was teaming Benn who lost his stick. Warren Fogle on the takeaway. As jostled up, he was looking for Derek Ryan. Up front, this goes. And we have a stoppage here, but it's pretty much a low-hanging game, 11-8. We were not expecting it to be a physical series, but we were seeing the physicality come out as most intensifying moments.
Yeah, DeBoer got away with one against Stanko when they hit him right in the face. Jamie Benn did respond. I thought Jamie Benn had his best shift in this game, though, because when you look at it, McDavid was sprung wide open near the left side dot, and yet he rumbled all the way back in a back check to deny an opportunity right out in front against Evander Kane. That was good work from the Dallas captaincy.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but why this was not called elbowing against DeBoer?
I agree.
Because we both can agree that there should have been one called there.
Absolutely. That was a complete missed call.
On the takeaway off a misplay by Dallas, Sam Carrick, Carter Brown, he's tied up. Rebound loose. Otters just shut it down, and we have a whistle despite the fact the puck came free. And now it went from no whistles to whistles.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how that works, isn't it, Alec? I feel like the refs are getting a little bit too crazy, a little overzealous there again. As you mentioned, that third line is doing damage again as far as McLeod and Fogle and everybody else. And now they'll go right back to McDavid here to try to get this draw.
Yeah, so you're a little antsy here on both ends of the ice with all sorts of loose action and the physicality. McDavid off the face-off. Bouchard waits. Trying to get at the punch from Hyman. Didn't get one there. Hyman sandwiched towards the wall. Dallas does get it out. Edmonton re-enters this with McDavid. And sends back for Bouchard. McDavid had it tied up. Pavelski on the takeaway. Lead passes to Duchene. Sends one across. No offside here. This one went wide of Skinner. On to keep it Duchene. Forced on the backhand. Away from McDavid. Pavelski. Send one up for Duchene. That one went in front of Skinner. Good over here by Lindell. Fired one. Deflected wide. And this will be kept up. Spun around. Chris Tanev on the hole. Around the boards. Past Gretzky Soundness. From the hole is Lindell. Back around. Over to the right point. Rush for his puck. Tanev saw this one go out of his zone. He'll for Brian Nugent-Hopkins. And the lead pass for Duchene. Duchene to the right side. This bounced out of Nugent-Hopkins' stick. A bad pass from Bouchard. Bouchard. Bouncing puck. Hyman gets this one forward. And this softer pass over to Dellandrea, who sends it over to the near corner. And then right behind the net, as Sam Steele got dribbled. Steele behind is Dellandrea. Out in front, Smith. Up high and here these last few minutes. Edmonton tying their man up. Janmark leads the win for Carrick. Sam Carrick saw this bounce over to Oninger, played over to Harley. Janmark on the hold as former team. Delangere also tied up. He clears it out. And back with this is Cece, who finds for Connor Brown. He had his first goal since 2018 in the playoffs when he was a Toronto Maple Leaf. And up this goes. Craig Smith was tied up, but Delangere helps him out. Shot it all the way over to Skinner. Ball played out for Kulak. Fans under siege, but I can assure you they're loud and proud. Kane sets this up. Shooter. Plays out over to Hintz, and out this goes to the near boards. Draisaitl can't hold. Here's Tyler Seguin breaking free near side. Seguin curling drag. This bounce out of Skinner's pad. As he was not, as the defense with the Oilers was not full. Kane. Here's this one over to the far side. Dylan Holloway was beat out to by Ryan Suter as that was a saucer pass way up in the air, but that was an icing.
Very close. For instance, Craig Smith just shot it completely the wrong way near the left post. He was open enough to try to finish that one. But the Edmonton defense starting to bend a lot. If that rubber band bends anymore, it might break.
That's hopefully not the case for Edmonton. Should they continue with this? Given the World Cup turning around this defense. Draisaitl off the face-off. Nurse fighting Cece. Cece on the near side. This one backed it off of Kane. Over to Heiskanen. Heiskanen looks to clear. Does so. Recollected by Nurse. Deflected inside by Kane. Suter was the first there, but immediately gets tied up by Holloway. Holds onto a stick. Kane also tied up Holloway on the key. Back behind it. Heiskanen fighting Dadonov. Dadonov over to the far side center for Seguin. Side return. Another stop by Skinner. Seguin set down in front. That one knocked away by Derek Ryan. Stankovic on the key. Left side Lindell back for Seguin. On the hold, Stankovic canceled out by Ryan. Poke free, and Draisaitl sends this down just enough for the Oilers to get some viable changes here. Lindell, the side center front for Johnston is back onto the ice. Wyatt Johnston, but he is echoed with the way there. Can't get it out. Chris Tanev on the hold. Now away. On his backhand, sends it over to Fogle. Or Fogle behind that for McLeod. Return feed, bounce off a skate. Over to play Bouchard. Takes Bouchard rips one. That was blocker side by Monitor. Echo on the key. Around for Fogle, who's tied up. Fogle. Wrist one over to Monitor. Who stops that one? Fogle over to the right point. It's Bouchard to hold. Looks for it over the lane. Finds one. Fogle back for Bouchard. From a sharp angle. Can't do it there. Dallas blocks it. They get this one out. The team's Echo was the first one back in this puck away from Stankovic. Echo with Stankovic chasing his tail. Over to the far ports. Entry feed over to McDavid. McDavid or Nugent-Hopkins rather. Hyman opposite Duchene. Hyman looking for a lane. Hyman spins around and fires it. Bounced off of Monitor. McDavid in on it. He's tied up. And Dallas on the takeaway. And they break even here. This deep pass. Nothing there. As this was too far, icy.
And now the Oilers starting to find a little bit of their legs, as Tyler said. I mean, he's going to be, as far as when this playoff ends in June and everything's all done, Tyler Seguin's going to get my vote for the most around the puck, more so than anyone of all the teams that are left. I don't know how many scoring chances Tyler Seguin's going to end up with, but he just seems to always be in front of the chaos.
It seems to be. In fact, yesterday, or 2 days ago, was the first time he scored a conference final since the year the Bruins won the Stanley Cup. That's insane to think about as that was chopped away. The Oilers will have to restart as Ekholm sends his groove. It's run over onto the backboards. Dallas looks to get this one out. Not cleared as it is on the key by Bouchard. Bouchard up and around. Draisaitl on his backhand controlling for McDavid. Carter McDavid taking. Trying to break even. Can't do so here. It's the Oilers on the key. Draisaitl on his backhand. Draisaitl away from the sheet. One timer by Bouchard. This was stopped by Oettinger. And he'll hold on to this one. That was a bullet, 88 miles an hour.
That was a good setup for Leon Draisaitl. He was just trying to set up there for Bouchard. Spinning around, finding the space. Top line started to lock back in again for Edmonton as we take another break. But I do want to mention this one more time. In terms of that Ryan McLeod, Warren Fogle, Derek Ryan line, I don't know where they've stepped out from to try to play like a top line, but they give it to every other lines, whether it's Sam Steele or Craig Smith or whatever else. This third line for Edmonton and Kris Knoblauch, they're playing like a second line right now, maybe even a top line. They've been really good. They've had some good minutes in this game.
These are two legitimate bottom six lines for Kris Knoblauch's team, and they've effectively played their role all throughout, especially the McLeod line. People can knock on the formal trade when they trade away Ethan. Like there was a promising offensive defenseman. Both Fogos emerged into a solid checker for the Oilers and continue to do so dating back to his days from Carolina.
No, I agree with you, Alec. I think that they got it right. You want to see these players play their best when you get in the postseason, when the lights are the brightest and the stakes are the highest. When we looked at this matchup on paper and we saw Dallas and Edmonton, you're thinking, okay, Dallas should have the advantage on the bottom six lines, correct? That's what everybody was picking here. But right now, Edmonton's been able to play even for the most part, and through game one and now in game two, when they put those bottom six lines out there, I can't tell of a drop off in play because there isn't one.
No, it really feels like it's too much to determine if there's truly a drop off of play. Every line is played to each and every one of their strengths. Another trade they want to mention, not done, the Ekholm trade. People were saying Nashville won the trade. Well, Tyson Berry, he was a healthy scratch in that first round. He's play quarterback, but nothing more than that. Ekholm's an all-round investment, the type of player that you want to have for a playoff team. And this not only helps the Oilers, it also helps Bouchard, knowing that he learned from Duncan Keith the year before.
Yeah, you nailed it, Alec. It was a transformational type move, and alongside Paul Collins, the team looks completely different than it did 2 years ago.
And especially so. We're back into the action. 2:45 remains here in the second period. We do not have a goal here in this middle frame. They get to see one. Perhaps someone will break even here. Whether it be the Oilers or the Stars. The shots are 21-14 Edmonton in the second period. That first period, entry pass. Here's Janmark to the far side. He has Janmark right behind King. Wraparound shut out by Oettinger. On the strip of Steele, here's Janmark again. Forced behind the net by Steele. Janmark one more time, bouncing puck up high. This goes over to the far corner. Right behind it. Up high, and the laid offside as Dallas is establishing a rush. Joe 5 left, bad pass for Kane. Book for by Draisaitl. Draisaitl is in. Kane's gonna chuck some up. Kane jumps on it. Bouncing puck for the Don up. Forced out. Nurse. Rico out of this one over to Luke sends it over to Oettinger. Jake Oettinger over to Ryan Suter. Sends this one down for the ice. Bouncing puck. Rico at the bite of Oilers for a split second. Force goes back for Dallas. This Lindell got spun around. 1:40 left. Here's Haskin. For the penalty box doors over to Robertson, who's sandwiched by Evander Kane there. Darnell Nurse there, but poke free. This goes back over to Oettinger. Dylan Holloway already have up. And immediately Oettinger fighting Suter. This puck over to center ice and back around for Nurse. Nurse spins twice before trying to make the pass. And backwards this goes over to the left circle. His left circle rather. And then the lead pass over to the Oiler bench. Holloway stripped away from Haskinen. Couldn't control this one. Tyler Seguin saw it get poked free. Seguin leads the to the near side. Stacking it with speed. Lost the puck as he was tied up by Nurse. Final minute of the second period. We're tied here 1-1. 97 leads the rush. K-shot was forced wide by Tatum. And the rebound picked up by Dallas. Stacking out inside by Ekholm. Ekholm on second whack at it. This goes over to Lindell at the near corner. Tatum. Force over behind the net. And Bouchard saw it poked free. Stacking sends it over to Benn. Benn drops it back. Here is Dell set up pass right in front. Not there. Not a shot. Jamie Benn! He had an open net. Good job by the Oilers defense. Undenied him a shot. Here comes waits for some help at the left circle. RNH. One time by Ekholm. Entry to the puck free. And Oettinger was forced into the net. The whistle was blown. And no goal, and that's the correct call.
Yeah, it looked like on the push-in that the puck was actually across the net after that shot was set up. McDavid was trying to make a play, but you just called it. Jamie Benn, that is a complete tie out there. Excellent work for Zach Hyman, who says he can't play defense. Second period to keep it 1-1.
Yeah, he for sure. Did save a goal there. Auditor, he was forced inside the crease, and that was the correct call by the officials to ruin no goal. And I don't blame the Stars for standing up for their goaltender because Auditor, he was forced inside the crease.
Yeah, they have to do it, Alec, because we had some sequences where Ottinger made 4 or 5 saves. Hey, we're waiting for a whistle. Oh, 15 seconds later, still isn't one, and we're still under play. So I think they got to take exception to it as they should.
You mentioned about the no whistle, and then there's Hyman, who might have just taken his last shift. A time of the face-off, but we'll have to do it again. There was a false start.
22.8 now. They've added some time. See if we can get a key draw here for Edmonton, not lost in all the motion that we just had.
Yes. And no love lost here. Is Pavelski and McDavid on the draw. Got to get this one out. And a second chance, and then Benn tried it for Pavelski. And finally, it's out for Dallas. Last chance for Edmonton, trying to leak this way in 10 seconds. Echo sets this one off for Auditor. Auditor saying that Draisaitl was.
Well, no questions here for Kris Knoblauch. You keep out number 29 and number 91 together on the same side, looking at the rough play inside the crease. Jake Ottinger is going to need some extra ice bags when this is all said and done. I mean, you've had backhand shovels. You had Hyman that was trying to go backwards in the net. We got one more draw, though.
Tie up on the face-off is behind Auditor. Forced around him to the far side. That's going to end the second period. And one last hit by Warren Fogle as he is testing Mason Marchment. There's some war between them as we end the second period. No love lost between them. 25-15 is shots here after 40 minutes. 1-1 is our scoreline.
And you know what, Alec? I'm going to go ahead and say it between Warren Fogle. I like that. Dallas was able to get a couple hits on you to show them that they were here. Edmonton at the end of the period, they say, we're responding. We're right here still. Still 1-1. Again, a little bit different that you didn't have the goals and I had some of the goals there, but you had so many saves, some defensive action, some excellent play there from Zach Hyman at the end. Jamie Benn to be able to save a goal. We've had about 4 or 5 of those that could have went in the back of the net. This should not be a 1-1 game, but both teams paid attention to detail there. That was another excellent 20 minutes. And I should say thank you again for always being professional and prepared and be willing to work with me because I appreciate it. It's always a lot of fun. I think we both got more than we bargained for in this series between Dallas and Edmonton. It's been excellent.
It's been truly excellent. Once again, I appreciate that on the shout-out. Always nice having you here. And between these two teams, it feels like a well-written match between the Oilers attack and Jake Ottinger.
Yeah, it has. And again, I will say this, from what we needed, again, we have, that's the score right now after 2. But from what we saw, you and I, as we said, we both expected a push from the Dallas Stars. Yeah, got that in the first 10 minutes. And Stuart Skinner was busy. He's ended up having a great night right now, 14 out of 15. Jake Ottinger, 24 out of 25. But you took that first 10 minutes. Couple almost goals there for the Dallas Stars as they were really pressing. They were hungry for it. Again, there was a shot that also binged off the inside of the crossbar for Wyatt Johnston and stayed out. But you took that 10 minutes if you're Edmonton. You survived that, and then you got the pushback of your own. And I know upward by 10, but honestly, I have no idea who's going to score first in this third period. This game still feels like it's a toss-up.
Yeah, that is if we ever get goals in the third period. Remember, we did not see a goal in the entire third period between the Rangers and the Panthers. The second half of that third period and the entire overtime. And Barclay Goodrow getting his second career playoff overtime goal. The other one was completion for the San Jose Sharks on the Vegas Golden Knights in Game 7. But the Rangers and the Panthers, it feels like this game, the Stars and Oilers are pretty much copying and pasting what was Game 2 of yesterday.
Yeah, that's fair to say. I agree. It's kind of what you have to have. And if you're Edmonton, you know what? Again, you take that first 10 minutes from the second, you survive it, as you mentioned. I think you go out in the third, hopefully kind of keep your same game plan and knowing that Dallas, you throw out your best punch in the first 10 minutes. can you go out there and do it again? Because Edmonton kind of looked level the playing field. That'll be interesting to watch to see if that changes at all. I did want to mention this from the first intermission and throw it out there. I was talking about Miro Heiskanen and his amount of ice time and how it's continually impacted and gone up. Well, he's already at 1656, so that's right there. But that's Lindell. He's the next closest at 1512 as they want to try. Right now, you got Tanev, Suter, Petrovic, Lindell, Heiskanen, and Hartley on the defensive side. And then for Edmonton, let's take a quick look at the TOI here. Hyman with a strong 15 to lead the forwards there alongside Connor McDavid, who's at 20 seconds ahead of that. And Evan Bouchard right now with 17.25. He does not have a goal, assist, a plus minus, but he does have 2 shots on 17 shifts. He's been out there for a while. Both defenses have been good. And as you mentioned, Alec, in that second period, we had a lot of close calls. We'll see how many of those we get in the third. From the second could turn into goals here in this last period.
It looks like it. Feels like the close calls you mentioned. Again, they could be goals, especially the Evander Kane when he was so close and went off the knob of Otter's stick. That's one close call, but Otter's been bullied here so far in the second game. Several times he got ran into, especially with Dylan Holloway going out to Kris Tanev and Tanev bumping into Otter staying in. But one thing that strikes out to me, and then to an earlier point, when you look at the ice times for the Stars, 14:04 for Hart, 16:56 for Hayes, 15:12 for Lindell, 14:27 for Tanev, 11:16 for Suter. As is mentioned, there are 5 defensemen. Alex Petrovic is pretty much the odd man out, as he is 6:47 of time on ice, pretty much for a bottom 6 forward, if you ask me. But Petrovic is getting into some meaningful situations with Dallas substituting him in the place of the offensive minded Nils Lundqvist. I feel they're getting Petrovic into more defensive situations because they want to bolster up the defense.
Yeah, you do. And you have to be able to pick and choose your spots there if you're on an island. So let me make sure I click on this and stop saying that because it's 32. Again, he's just trying to go ahead and get some time on that side of it. I wanted to make sure I corrected myself. But yeah, you have to do that. And on the other side, if you're Edmonton, you got maybe about 3.5 more minutes there for Vincent Desharnais. Yes, he nerves, but he is one of those guys I don't lean on either. So in between Desharnais and in between Petrovic, I think you limit it as much as you can, as both coaches are trying to do. But as we've talked about, I wonder though, as it continues to go along in these playoffs and you play every other day, for Dallas is going to start to get burned out. Hell, maybe that's one of the situations of why we found Ty Dellandrea in this game, because you need new forwards and new bloods to keep everyone else fresh, correct? I mean, it's a long playoff run.
Yeah, you nailed it. If you want fresh blood, then you have to lead towards guys like Sam Carrick in your Oilers. And they didn't even have to use Troy Stecher yet in the playoffs. He's been a healthy scratch all throughout.
That's interesting to me, because if I thought Stecher, and this might be a little bit of bias in between the Coyotes or what we saw with the Flames, I thought Troy Stecher played pretty good with the Calgary Flames, and I would be surprised. This is just me talking out loud, but I think that he would be an upgrade over Vincent Desharnais, but I guess Desharnais is just he's built too much like a brick house. He's too big.
It feels like a big body type of defenseman. If you were to dress Stecher as a 7th defenseman, you would wonder who's going to come out the light above him. But given how good these forwards have played for the Oilers, I feel Knoblauch would have a hard time finding a place for Stecher in this lineup.
No, you're right. Again, I think I've said the same thing there alongside you. I think the bottom 6 line for Edmonton, I don't know if I can say they outplayed the Dallas Stars. You know what? Honestly, Alec, I think I should, because they're up 1-0 in the series. So, I mean, they've done way more than I expected them to do. I mean, going into it, as you talk, be where Dallas has their clear strength. Obviously, you got McDavid, RNH, Hyman, some of the top line. Those guys can outplay the top line of Jason Robertson when they do get Roope Hintz back, even when they do Wyatt Johnson. They can outplay those guys, but Dallas is supposed to have an advantage somewhere, and right now, I'm not seeing a clear advantage between either one of these teams.
If it was too obscure, you're going to have to draw a line about where they have the advantage. If you're talking about top end talent, that's clearly Edmonton. Defensively, you would current rate with how they're going. The Oilers, they're doing more with less than their coaching.
Yeah, they are. Their coaching deserves probably the biggest shout out of all. And I will say this for myself, at least. Again, I never tried to bag on Stuart Skinner, but it was honest. It was honest. We knew in the Vancouver side when he got pulled, and Calvin Pickard came in, he played very well. And I thought it was pretty curious to be able to go back to Stuart Skinner. But you do have to have your top goalie. I mean, you have to have a guy that you rely on. And Stuart Skinner, honestly, from game one and now game two, he's played quite well. And if Edmonton can continue to play this way defensively, if they can continue to roll out all four lines and have that completely dominating I've ever seen as far as playoffs is concerned, Skinner, he's done quite well. And you know what? All those concerns that I had for Kris, those are gone right now.
It's all gone. Based on his plays, he's given up 6 goals in a span of 4 games ever since he was inserted back into the lineup. The Oilers, they're quicking right now. As you mentioned, back when they had that 16-game win streak, they're once again winning in tight, low-scoring games, which
Right. I remember talking about that with you when we were covering during that streak, and that's exactly what I said to you too. I'm glad that you repeated it in the sense of those are the type you have to have if you want to win in the postseason. Again, as we talked about Edmonton defense, those are things that don't normally go together. But I give a lot of credit there to Kris Knoblauch because you think about the beginning of the year when they had that rough start, when they lost the Sharks, get rid of Jay Woodcroft. I was one of those guys on the other side saying, I don't know the right idea because Connor McDavid was injured. Obviously, they're going through some struggles. And maybe their collective penalty kill numbers aren't still very good across the regular season. But whatever they've done going into this playoffs has been nothing short of transformational. When you got Ekholm and Bouchard, they are doing the heavy lifting. That Darnell Nurse and Vincent Desharnais line hasn't done as much as you would like. But because Ekholm and Kulak and Ceci have been able to give you some offense and not give up goals on their end, I think Edmonton doesn't have any complaints.
no complaints for them. They complain about how they got here. In fact, they don't really have much to complain about on the road they've got there. The first round is basically the same old story between them and the LA Kings.
Sure.
But the second round, that was the eye-opener for the Oilers. And you take out a well-rounded Canucks team. And to be fair, the Canucks were not getting but still, taking out the Canucks, who are a top-end team in the Pacific Division, perhaps the favorite to come out of the Pacific Division, that's an eye-opener. And now you're going against the Stars team, and you're matching them toe-to-toe. You officially have my attention, Edmonton.
Yeah, and you know what? I should give Edmonton this side because, look, I said the same thing. We both thought that the Oilers were going to win against Vancouver. Vancouver did give a little bit more of a push than I expected. But the one miscalculation on my part where I should issue the apology is this. 6 of the 7 games were 1-goal games. During this win streak, as you just mentioned, they're able to win a lot of 1-goal games, low-scoring games, get themselves ready for the playoffs. Well, they did that during the Vancouver in a 7-gamer. A lot of 1-goal games there. They got themselves prepared for that. And because of that, I should have expected this type of effort against the Dallas Stars. Am I still a little shocked? Of course I am. But Edmonton's been preparing for this for a while now.
They have. All throughout, when they've been studying the film, I believe they have been through thorough film sessions through the off days, and they're going to review what type of attack Dallas has, what type of systems they employ, and the Oilers are doing something that is expected of every team that's competing for Stanley Cup. Adjust to their opponent.
Yeah. They're probably doing that, Alec, better than any other team that we have left in the postseason. I know there's only 4, but we started with 16. maybe there was no expectations. Again, I always would pick against Edmonton because I wasn't ready for the defensive side, but I should have known better against the LA Kings because I've seen that story. But yeah, they have adjusted, and they've adjusted quite well. And again, it's only game two. We're not even into the third period yet, so there's still a lot of leeway left nonetheless. Hell, if Edmonton, let me just take this a step further, Alec. If Edmonton swept the rest of the way, I would just be completely impressed the way that they got back here, considering how well they played on defense. I mean, this is already a better effort than it was 2 years ago. And this is a team, honestly, now that I can look at, Alec, and when we talk about, I actually have belief that the Oilers can win a one-goal game, win tight games, and that's a step in the right direction. I understand they want much more than that, considering but be under good hands with Kris Knoblauch and company.
They may be. Perhaps on the long run, we're not sure, but there's a feeling that Jay Wood was a short-term option. I don't know how long he was going to last, if he were to be staying the whole season. But for Knoblauch to turn his team around that he's hired, it's a damn good job for the Oilers on this turnaround. Perhaps he has earned himself a longer-term stay. I don't know how many years he's going to be. But I imagine, so you go that right now. Maybe down the line, he can and do more with this.
So look at it in a perspective like this. I won't completely change the direction. Well, let's talk about the Canadian team. It's because you got the Oilers, you got Kris Knoblauch, you have Vancouver with Rick Tocchet, you have the Toronto Maple Leafs now with Craig Berube, you got Montreal, Marty St. Louis. Who's over in Ottawa right now?
I believe that is Jack Martin.
Thank you. Yeah, so he's still there right now. So who has the best coaching situation, would you say, of all the Canadian teams?
If I'm in the best, if any of these one teams were to be in the best coaching situation, I would pick a coin and flip a coin between Rick Tocchet of the Canucks and Kris Knoblauch of the Oilers. I am not counting out Craig Roope from the Toronto down, but I think it's between Tocchet and Knoblauch on this. But I'm leaning Tocchet from a certain point of view.
Okay, because that's kind of what I was leading into. I was just going to say that. I'm looking at the Oilers in between the Canadian teams, and I think the coaching staff in the situation, they're not in a bad situation. They did it across all 32 teams. Maybe what Kris Knoblauch's doing right now, Alec, is a top 5 job at worst. Completely different looking Edmonton team.
Yeah, it's very completely different compared to years past. Gone are the days of top heavy where you're leaning on McDavid and Draisaitl. You have everyone involved now. You have defense involved now. Yeah, you know the majority of productions come your top end guys, but you still some of the depth guys producing offensively, such as the case Kulak, Ekholm, who is a number one defenseman on any other team outside of Edmonton. You have Kane, Holloway, Fogle, Janmark. Some of those guys are stepping up, and that's good of Edmonton to have them step up.
Perform. That's what good teams have, superstars that they can go to. Checkmark box, that's done. Now good teams also have back end, keep the puck out of their own net. Checkmark box there. You can be alive on your specialty teams and get that done. Well, right now they're on a heater, so that's more than one checkmark box. And the way right now he's doing the job. So the Oilers reason right now, and again I can say that to just reacclimate the point for myself so I can believe it in my brain. But that's where we are right now. The Edmonton Oilers are a damn good hockey team, and they are taking it right now to the Dallas Stars toe-to-toe. And who knows what happens, as Alex said, but I think from all the points that we made, my belief is this: the Oilers, I don't think are going to be going away over the next couple of years. Got this team to the best spot that they've ever been to under the McDavid and Draisaitl era. We both agree on that. We'll see if that continues. I will this on the other side for round ball. It is 80-66 Indiana, still trying to hold on and get that first win at the Fieldhouse.
tight. It's really tight. Don't let the score fool you, but Andrew Nembhard, he's up to 23 points. And he had 21 in the first half. Very efficient, 9 of 12 shooting. Spicy P is heating up 20 points. Miles Turner, 19 points. The Pacers are playing efficiently and with house money now. 33 out of 52 shooting as a team. A very efficient night. The Celtics, they're trying to call back in. 22 for Jason Tatum. And Jaylen Brown, he's coming. Al Horford has 15.
Do you want to take this first half and I'll close it?
Basically a role reversal. I like that. How about it?
Go ahead.
Here we are, third period, and we do have some news around. That's when we get a stoppage here. So regarding Winnipeg and New York, respectively. So we'll be at Duchene for Joe Pavelski, trying to break even here at EFW. Nugent-Hopkins back over at this, and his bouncing puck. Pavelski lost his stick. Oilers get this in. Hasten and close the door on it. This puck's kept in while the Oilers takes a spill. Back up the Stars, and it is Duchene right on Echo. Take behind it. This bounce on the Skinner. Try to stick it away. Still live behind the net. Stars still have a stack of it. Over to Harley. Intercept that is the Oilers, and they go on to break out. Lead pass up for McDavid. McDavid can do some damage here. Nice poke check by Canada. McDavid gets it back. Canada on another poke. Harley back at it. Thomas Harley. That's some great poke checks by Kris. No surprise, as I try to say, he's one of the very best at his own end. In the double overtime before McDavid scored the double overtime winner. Perhaps a technically an announcer jinx, we have an offside here, so I got bit by the announcer jinx.
What was the news that you have for me? I'm curious.
So the news here, the Winnipeg Jets have officially voted to their head coach.
Not too bad. I think that's going to be okay. It's going to be hard to replace Rick Bowness. He is a legend, but I do think they want to get back and have a better playoff run.
They want to. The other news I want to point out is that Jimmy Vesey exited the game. One-timer from Holloway. I almost got bit by the announcer jinx again there, John. So Jimmy Vesey, after being stung by Ryan Lomberg, is out lead doing. Here comes Draisaitl. Good block by Hintz on Kane. That was almost another announcer jinx. There's twice I could have been bit by it. Here's Dallas back the other direction. Some of the punches there. This will go over to the Edmonton side. The icing picked up. Dadonov sent this one away. Here's Dallas on the game at the far corner. Here's Dadonov back behind that by Desharnais. Desharnais ripped Dadonov off the puck. And this goes over to Holloway, who had up center. So a blow here for the Rangers is they'll be to week, potentially maybe for the rest of the playoffs should they advance to the Stanley Cup final. Matt Roope filled in game 2 with Vesey out. So that'll get Roope in potentially for the rest of the playoffs. Who knows, as we have an offside. But with Vesey out of the equation for the Rangers and with Roope.
It could. It also makes me wonder, Alec, whether or not Blake Wheeler is going to get close to being ready to go, because that safely insert in that bottom 6 if you don't want to always use Matt Roope.
I mean, that is always a viable option. But that could essentially put Kako, the odd man, out because he's an offensive-minded player, and Wheeler's the type of player to be a hard-working man offensively.
Okay, then completely disregard what I just said because I don't want to take out Kako.
Oh, you don't? Oh.
I don't think I want to.
John, but I do find it hard to take out Kako, but here's a pass out in front. Here's Dallas back with this. Canada low foot up the punch in.
Oh.
Seguin trying to tuck this in. Who's puck? Oh, how did this not go in? Dallas had so many looks. This thing out the punch in for Seguin. That one wide. Harley on another key. No. This one out the center. Connor Brown, 1-0 Canada. Fires one out the blocker. This is chaotic, John.
I can't believe that was just sitting across the goal line, sliding over there, stays out. I kept mentioning Edmonton getting closing to break here. They have not conceded, and now the puck is in Dallas's end.
And McLeod is tied up. Force it over to the opposite corner. So the first one there. At the left point, Dallas gets this one out. Perhaps their scoring opportunity, but McLeod was in the way of Dellandrea. Driven to and sandwiched by Dellandrea. Dallas trying to get a scoring chance. Bouncing puck for owes it long shot. Sutter said, score! Marchment tipped it! Dallas is back on top!
Well, again, that's what I mentioned a little bit in the second. Now in the third, after a couple of chances, just breathing across the goal line. Somebody put it away. This one gets deflected. Mason Marchment. What a huge goal for Dallas. They've been all around it. Now they finally get a go-ahead goal. 2-1.
And the first goal this game is perfect timing for Marchment to get them on the board here. That's just his second goal in the playoff. This bounced up in tie area, legal. This one down and changed direction. Now hard for Scared to stop if it changes direction, but he always had that one.
How the heck did that bounce down and then still go through Skinner's armpit? That was a magnetic puck into the back of the net.
It attracted Marchment like a magnet and attracted Skinner like a magnet too.
That was,
magnets all over the ice.
yeah, that was.
About the face-off. Oilers advance this game. Does not ice it is Evan Bouchard the first to this. Backhand is over to the side. Up down as the Oilers go the other direction. Bouchard leads the way. For Hyman. Be out to by Lindell. Back towards the point, cleared out by the Stars. Bouchard forward. Here comes McDavid. Re-entering this puck back in. Sandwiched along the wall by Lindell. Ekholm keep it over to Gretzky's office. Nugent back for Bouchard. Loads one up. His bounces over Monitor. Hyman keeps it over to left point. Bouncing puck for Ekholm on the key. Intercepted by Hastings, who tried to clear. Gloved down by Ekholm, but that was outside the zone. Batted down by Dallas. And he'll get this one out. Bouchard re-enters with the puck. Parks at the right point. Bouchard, late pass up. Dallas swipes his spot out. And the rush for this puck is going to be an icing. Johnny Versteeg.
And now the fans starting to get on Stuart Skinner. I don't know if this is the right time to do that. As we take a look off the wraparound attempt, it's like a fourth time this game. It just bleeds across the goal line as bodies were falling all over the place. And then shortly after that, unbelievable deflection from Mason Marchment. What a contest we've had so far. What a series.
This is a good job. What did you think?
Yeah, this has been absolute theatrics here. It's been enjoyable.
And that second game between the Rangers and Panthers was also absolute theatrics among both goalies in Igor Shesterkin and Sergei Bobrovsky. Faced off won by the Stars, but they are tied behind Monitor's crease. At the left point, held inside by Edmonton is Draisaitl. Hooks it up Kane. That's stopped. And the rebound swept over to Robertson. Robertson tries to clear it. Smith tried to help him out. Marchment from Sutter officially on the goal. It's Marchment's second of the playoffs. Connor Brown's first goal in the playoffs this year, and his first since 6 years when he was elite. Big collision fight. The Stars are doing Holloway as he got rattled off his skates at center ice. Hey, Draisaitl got sputtered on the left point. Draisaitl, another spinner, Rama fighting over to the left side. Push on a front. Hey, can't do it there. It's swept out. Draisaitl rushing his puck, and finally is batted out by Dallas. Will you get this one in? As Seguin separates over to the near corner. Yanada back by net. Wrapper on his head. Rebound loose, and that's still played by Stankovic. Looking to make this one a 3-1 game. This one goes out of play. No, this is kept in play. Ryan Sutter saw thought it was going out. He was caught napping. Near corner. Tie up along the wall. Connor Brown, Sam Carrick there for Edmonton. Poke. Sandwich along the wall. Left point, Bouchard. Bouchard waits for this. One-on-one Benn. Loses man but stumbles. Bouchard back on his feet. Evan Bouchard still waiting. Takes out Seguin. Sends one on to Oettinger. That's kicked out. And Dallas gets it out. Recoiling this one is Ben Desharnais. Almost said David Desharnais. No relation between the two. On the day glaze, Johnson can't do much with that. Bouchard will drop it back over to Ekholm. 13:35 here in the goal. Leads the way near side. On the opposite wing is Hyman, who got slowed down. It's McDavid looking for someone. This takes a bounce off the stick. Marchment looks to back pass. Can't do it there. Delendra stumbled and still inside. Sanzio sends it over to Delendra. And a big save by Wow. He's responding in time. And this one directing over. And Scott Wedgwood almost made a save.
Everybody's had to be involved right now. What a contest that we've had. Back and forth action. Holloway takes a massive hit right at center ice and then immediately pushes the puck the other way. That chance tried to set up Evander Kane near the right side. If that hits his stick, this one's also tied. And then a backhand opportunity for Stankoven goes wide. Ian joins us here. We go to break. This has been a good one. I'm glad you're along the ride with me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've been, well, I have started a new job. I'm working with valets for a very fancy hotel. See the guy, where you see the likes of Marchment for all your football aficionados. You should know who Marcus Sears is.
If you don't, I think you need to get your sports card revoked.
Right. But, so yeah, you see all kinds of flashy cars. My first week there, so that should tell you. And today I saw a Maserati, so that should tell you what tax bracket is mostly at.
Well, hopefully they tip you well, my friend.
Well, I don't get tips because I work the key room, but they do tip. They tip well enough on busy days.
Sure.
But I'll tell you what, man. Don't these Dallas Stars? They've shown to be rather crafty and tough. Jesus, that hit on Holloway. Who was that? Was that Marchment? What?
Craig Smith.
Craig is wow. But what's really got me happy is my Kansas City Royals are on an 8-game win streak, fellas.
They're playing quite well. They're trying to charge for the AL Central. Alex got a few more minutes here, and then I'm going to close it out. But you take it away, Mr. Nava.
Yeah, speaking of baseball, the Pirates just downed the Braves 4-1. That's something that surprised me, knowing that Stadium, where both franchises are at. It's behind Skinner now. Several whacks. Jane poking away. And rushing is Robertson. Can't center along. Bouchard intercepts. McDavid. Moves center ice. 1-on-1. Haskins. This gets poked backward. Back with this. Looks Bouchard's direction. Delays. And then finds him. And Bouchard right back for Leon Draisaitl. And Leon, running near side, waits. Then gets forced out. McDavid saw this one go by him as Ekholm picking his back up for Edmonton. Across for Bouchard. Center along for McDavid, trying to go along with Haskins. Haskins poking away from him. Bouncing puck. Gone over to the Dallas blue line and sent inside. Intended for the dot up, but it's poked away. Running near wing. This is Holloway takes it back up. Dylan Holloway. Sandwich along the near corner by Robertson. But not as big of a hit as he took from Craig Smith, an effective one. Here's Kane. Poked away by Lindell. Out inside by Oilers, turned over to Lindell. Big pass. On the stretch, it's a dot up. That's and caught by Skinner, who stops it.
I like that tweet that you just sent out there to share, Ian, because Alec and I were talking about that. They've mentioned Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce many times during the broadcast. But, hey, you're talking about hockey, but you never even skated, says Patrick.
Actually, no, that's Travis
Travis Patrick.
But regardless, it's so funny. Although, dang, we could see if we could have some film on Travis Kelce ice skate. That'd be something. That'd be something to watch.
And we hope.
And today, the stars, Travis Kelce.
He gets denied by Stuart Skinner. I'd love to see Travis Kelce join along with J.J. Watt and Patrick Mahomes on some ice hockey.
That will never happen.
It's a dream,
Yeah. At the next break, I'll help you understand why that won't ever happen. However, now,
we are, so there's a far side. Derek Wyatt chopped away from Wyatt. Wyatt gets back to marched up towards wAlec Benjamin. Jumping onto it is what I believe is Harley, and is around for the far side, rushing to this, and we have a stoppage here with 11:25 in the burn.
Just to clarify, gentlemen, why that will never happen. A clip came out of Pedro Holmes playing some pickup basketball, and Brett Beach nearly had he Holmes put in solitary confinement. He's like, no more fun for you.
Oh, come on, man.
Well, you know, franchise quarterback, best quarterback the Chiefs ever had. A GM who at that point was just getting started. You know, if something happens, this beloved quarterback on your watch, your career is basically done. So I get it.
I would understand as well. 3 shots for Jamie Benn with 11:20 left to go in this third period. Dallas back on this is Wyatt. Johnson will tire, gets back up. Stagger is there all along. Too far for Johnson. Benn keeps it in. Kane there. You both got one away. Kane goes down towards the wall. Benn can't get this one through. It's Nugent-Hopkins with this. Over to the far corner. Canada will be the first week collecting this one. Opposite corner. Kane. Hands there along, but now this goes back over to the left point. Kulak lost the handle. Gets it back. And fires along for the near boards or far boards. The Oilers have to go out and re-enter to prevent this offside. Dallas up for the near wing. Robertson sent this one in. Nurse is the first one there. When the far side out inside is Pavelski. Pavelski, fancy move, but was blocked away. Edmonton can't get it out. It's Robertson on the key. Down low this goes. Glove down by Nurse, who gets tied up. At the far side, can't get it out. It's Duchene bringing this back in. Back Duchene to the far side. 7 more stick taps at it and all the way out. This goes for Edmonton. 10:20 left to go here. 2-1 the Stars lead. They get back to you, John.
So Edmonton's got it in behind their own net. It's a 2-1 lead now because Mason Marchment with the deflection from Ryan Suter. So taking the rest of the go back to OT, then we'll switch it back off again. Here's a rush. This game's been played pretty even for the most part. We'll see if that go-ahead goal's enough to be the GWG. Seguin, he'll spin. As it goes left side red line, get back to Seguin, but this is sticked in front of the slot. 3 were there. Hyman. We'll watch this one get sent down deep for Jake Ottinger. We'll make the slow pass left side red line. And Dallas with the victory green will try to get this out. They're trying to even this Western Conference final game 2 at a game apiece. This will be sent back now for Darnell Nurse. The shot board is 25-19 as this is picked up. Nice skate through. Off the drop, McDavid was the one that set it up. It's a hit off the side of the net. Dallas will try to flip this one back down. Evan Bouchard will watch as this one goes all the way back. Ekholm have to use his body as this is pinned against the glass. Bouchard watching out in front of the net as Dallas has it near the right side boards. And now Bouchard will get a puck retrieval. 9 minutes left to go in the third. John over with you alongside Alec, Nava, and Ian Genji. This is game 2. Try to see if this series is going to be even up. That's what we are expecting. But Edmonton's played pretty good in these first couple games so far. This is a steal. This is an opportunity. And this is blocked off the left side pad. That was Mason Marchment who already scored. Sent back around the end boards now. Opportunity for Dallas one more time to pick this up. The fans would have exploded on American Airlines. We would have got another goal. It's chipped out in front, but Edmonton's there to clean it up, try to take it left to right. Blue tops and the orange and blue striping. Sent back around for Jake Ottinger. He'll look to start this again. This will go all the way down. It'll be a race for the puck. Icing is waved off. Cody Ceci now off the pin. And a double hit as Edmonton tries to get it the other way. It's a 2-on-3. A little bit of a late tripping off the Tanev. He'll be able to get the puck out before taking a hit. So race the other way. A 1-on-1. Wyatt, Johnson, and Ceci slow up off the back skate. The Oilers. This now 3-on-2. Evander Kane try to get a stick ahead for Holloway, but Dallas is there to clean it up. Opportunity now to Shane. He'll rush in with Robo. Robo still not on the score sheet. It's been a while. It was for goals. It's picked up now for Harley off the end boards. Edmonton will knock it away. Try to take this one left to right for the rest of the period, but Dallas will find it in their own zone. Outstretched pass from 50. Could be a 2-on-3. Duchene, the rebound bounced off his left skate. This is Derek Ryan, able to get it the other way for Carrick. Opportunity. Sam Carrick will get this drop pass, and this will go to nobody. Race for the puck now. Matt Duchene almost on the edge of his shift. He tried to pry it loose. Spin and turn. Darnell Nurse has it in his own end for Kris Knoblauch's squad. Outstretched pass. It falls right to Jake Ottinger away from Essa Lindell. Nero Heiskanen able to get it out. Here's a chip off a 2-on-2. A dump and chase gets taken away by the Oilers, and they'll start it again in their own end. Shotboard's 26-21. The go-ahead is from Mason Marchment off a Ryan Suter deflection. Opportunity now, McDavid, number 97, dancing with the puck. This one gets blocked. It goes up into the netting. 6:33 left to go in the final frame.
Finally get a stoppage here and a chance to look at Pacers and Celtics right now. Indy leads 90-81. Andrew Netbar with 23. He had 21 the first half, but 16 points for TJ McConnell off the bench. The Pacers shooting 30 of 74, good 54.3%. Sorry to slow down the shot output. The Celtics, a 24-21 run. Slow step in the right direction for Boston. They want to come back and win this, but it's still a long road up ahead, led by Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Because the fourth quarter has arguably been the biggest enemy for the Celtics on the season.
Yes, it has in Indiana. They still have a 9-point lead right at the fourth, despite shooting just 3 of 17 from distance.
That is something that's not what you want to see from three-point shooting range. I feel the Pacers, they're getting forced into those situations, and since they don't have Tyrese Haliburton, that's taking a hit. They want to go more to the end. That's where they thrive at. You have guys like Siakam, Turner, Netbar, and McConnell doing that.
Yeah, and like you said, sometimes you don't have your point guard like that leads the offense and the pace of play. You're going to be forced into tougher shots. Pacers really need this one. You can't go down 3-0 because it'll be done at this point. But as you mentioned, Celtics been able to fight through. It's only a 9-point game as of the fourth. They could close it, and we'll see what happens in OT in our game as well. So basketball game for grabs, this hockey game up for grabs tonight.
Hey, fellas, if I may, I'd like to offer sincere condolences to Stan Van Gundy and the entire Van Gundy family, as it revealed 3 hours ago that Stan Van Gundy's wife died by suicide.
Oh, man, that is awful news.
They've been married for 35 years, been together, and in his words, I don't think I'll ever get over it.
No, you never get over anything like that. Again, we talked about some of that stuff throughout. I mean, you had Lincoln Park, Chester Bennington. There's a bunch of different things like that. So it's never the answer. You never go through. But again, I'm glad you brought that up because severe condolences on that side. I could never believe that if you just told me that again. I thought that would have been a lie. I can't believe that's a real thing.
Yeah, I didn't think it was real when I heard about the news of Chester Bennington. And man, to hear that is disheartening. My condolences with the Van Gundy family and Stan Van Gundy, all the family. If you need help, don't be afraid to call for help.
That's the main thing that I always say in those situations. Don't suffer alone because then things like this unfortunately happen. Obviously, no easy transition. We do have our game underway here with 5:55, although I am glad that Ian brought up that story because I'm going to get to talk about that because it's always rough in that situation. Evan Bouchard will send across now for Hyman off the spin. Nice move. Zach Hyman tried to get a shot off. This one blocked by the Dallas defense. Try to be on the left. Here's Stankoven off the one-on-one. It takes a chance off the rush. Skinner makes the save. Bouchard throws it into an open area. And this will be flipped back down and across. Dallas now will find it again. When does Edmonton pull their goalie, Alec, and when will they have an answer here? I still think this game's up for grabs, but we'll see if Edmonton can consistently push this the other way. Dallas has finally shown up pressure, and as this game has gone along, just like in Game 1, they're starting to get closer on that shot 25-22 with Dallas up 2-1. It's McDavid for RNH now. RNH get dispossessed of the puck of Andrew Kane, trying to find it near the right side boards, as this is recollected off the backhand. This will be Cody Ceci gets knocked away from him. This is flipped up. Sam Skinner. 4:35 left to go in the third. John and I looked at alongside Alec Nava and Genji. It's game 2 at American Airlines Center. Dallas trying to even this up at a game apiece. There is a wrist attempt. This one blocked again. Dallas's defense has been excellent the last few minutes. Side red line. Try to chip and find an entry now. There was nowhere else to go. Vincent Desharnais, big hit from Seguin. This puck is loose, but Desharnais got that long arm. It looks like a dump truck. As this one's picked up by Seguin. Wrister, another save. Sagan's had so many chances. I've said that so many times, Alec, through the broadcast, but he's always in the scoring chances. It's just whether or not he actually does get one.
He had 2 goals in the last game. He's been sleeping all from this game. You wonder how he's going to go through in these last 4:05. We're doing a crucial goal for the Stars. Even if the Oilers side is up, Sagan is always thinking, shoot.
Yeah, that's where my money would be as well. And we're continuing to monitor the other side of the Pacers and the Celtics. That's a 7-point game with 10:23 left to go in the fourth. I think this game is going to end before the basketball game, so I can hang with you gentlemen if you want to for the conclusion of that one. I'm just going to continue to monitor that alongside both of you guys. I appreciate you in the booth here. It's 25-23 on the shot board for Edmonton. Hits now 30-19, so Dallas has a big edge there. And they've come 24-22, but of note in this game too right now, both teams just 0 for 1 on the power play. The majority of this game has been 5-on-5.
These are very disciplined with one another. They're not going to force each other to take any penalties. That's how disciplined hockey works, and I love that from both sides. I want to get to the NHL World Championships as well, because Owen brought up the other day. Well, we have another shocker. If you think USA getting ousted by Czechia was shocking in the championship semifinals, the semifinal of Czechia and Switzerland.
That is a big shock to me, Alec.
Did you remember about Nino Niederreiter and Kevin Fiala, big power for Switzerland? Don't forget about some others, big name Swiss players in the NHL, like Timo Meier. He's part of that team as well.
That's good, and I'm glad that he's using that IHF time, because I think Timo Meier is still battling through some injuries and wants to make sure to get all his feet and everything else underneath him, just like Tomas Hertl for Vegas.
Yeah, to get back into form for the New Jersey Devils next season.
Absolutely. That's kind of what I'm thinking. That's what you use that time for. 4:05 left to go here in this third. As this one is a face-off tie-up, Dallas may emerge with it. They will get a shot off the right side pad of Skinner. 3:55 left to go in this final frame. Here's an opportunity now for Draisaitl. Off the backup, it's Bouchard. Slows up, shoots now, and this one is blocked. Connor McDavid picks it up. Connor McDavid's going to get it back from Leon. McDavid around the outside. Still set up here for Ekholm. He shoots. This one will bounce in front of the bodies. It's a funnel toward the net. This puck is deflected out of play.
Yeah, Bill Bouchard wanted to go with the fancy footwork on that long shot. Haston got in front of it. Crucial block. That might have went off his leg. He's stumped by it, but you have to do what it takes. Get your team winning crucial playoff games. Toe drag around. Robertson unloads one. Went off the skate of Haston, which caused him to lose a bit of balance.
And again, this is the type of plays that you're going to see right now. Sacrifice. Try to find a way to hold this lead. That's what it looks like, unless Dallas puts one into an empty Did Edmonton get to that point? Block shots are 20-9 for the Stars. Face-off tie-up, and Edmonton will get this out of the second effort. Here's a slapper. Good save, Ottinger.
Perhaps his most crucial of this game, though he had Ekholm. He knew he had to open net to his far side. Tested the Ottinger was not fooled by it. He knew what Ekholm can bring with a clapper of a bomb.
The bottom right glove save and a beauty there. 3:25 left to go in this third. Shot board 27-24. Edmonton needs another one to get to OT. In game one, OT, can Edmonton return the favor and deliver Dallas some bitter medicine? We'll find out. Here's an opportunity now for Seguin. Old toe drag, trying to buy some time. This pass deflected. See who they give it over to. As it's Draisaitl. Set it up, Ekholm. And Rister, man, he's had a couple good shots here toward the end of this third. As Draisaitl now. Extra pass. That was a bullet. As it's side dot. Leon. Set it up for Bouchard. Speaking of Rockets, it's another one toward the net, and Ottinger sees it.
So we speak of this top-pairing defensive core for the Oilers having the hardest shots on the team. Ekholm can bring it, but Bouchard can deal it as he's fired a slapper. I don't know what the official marker of that slapper is for Bouchard. I imagine he can fire some at 90 miles an hour. This one from Ekholm might have went off the slim end of the stick of Ottinger.
I don't know if that went off the stick as well. It also maybe hit the top of the left post. As it's Evander Kane. It's Joe Pavelski. Pavelski really good in the circles. If you're not going to get as many points, you can still win critical draws, and that's what Joe Paul wants to do here. Kane wins it. It's loose again. This one blocked one more time by the Dallas defense, and now they might win a race for this puck. Matt Duchene really turning on the big hit, as this is sent the other way now. Everybody's standing right now in American Airlines. An attempted wraparound for Duchene that goes off the left pad of Stu. 2:25 left to go in this third. Essa Lindell will fire it. It'll stay in. Cody Ceci trying to get a glove on it. This is in between his skate blades, but Holloway has an answer for that. And Evander Kane will put it the other way. Here is Skinner. He's leaving the goal crease. This is with Dallas. See what they can do here. They have the puck. They could fire this length of the ice if they want to. And Essa Lindell does such.
So just as they said, if you want to take your shot, you better not miss here. And Dallas, they're going to Edmonton with an even series for what it looks like, unless the Oilers can pull two straight. They stole game one here. Dallas right back on this is Lindell right up as Kris Knoblauch might have mistimed that goalie pull for Skinner. I feel he missed. Evander Kane, he was taking him onto a wall ride like he was riding a horse. And what even was that? You pull Skinner, and then you'll go on.
Alec, I think honestly that's well called because, as you said, by the time chance to get that puck possession there, and that allows Dallas to essentially get a freebie before you even get full possession. Edmonton played a pretty good game too right now. Again, let's see if they're going to have to rush. This could inflate the score line to look a lot worse than it actually is, as we have a hand in the air, I thought. And this one is picked up. So this will be a penalty against Dallas for a hook. It's 6-on-4 now.
Oh, Jamie Benn wants a piece of Evan Bouchard after he's left, but the Oilers are going to go 6-on-4. They need to score twice here. You cannot afford to. If I'm Dallas, you cannot afford to let up your guard. Now, Melody this late in the game could change anything, even if it means that this could go to an improbable overtime. Of course, Kris Knoblauch is using his timeout, which is the right call.
Give me your thoughts here, Ian.
Well, okay. You have McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman. The Oilers only have one goal, which makes me think that not one of three of those, that none of those not too far fetched to say they could come back and tie it. Except this is Dallas. Counts has, at least from what I've seen, have been one of the best defensive teams in the playoffs. Yet this series is going back to Edmonton 1-1. And I'm still confident that Dallas is going to win this simply because they look complete.
Again, it is a situation where they really needed to get game two. Honestly, I'm a little bit surprised that Edmonton has played as well as they have for the first couple games. I'm interested to see how games 3 and games 4 go. Does Dallas really turn on the burners on the road? They're one of the best road teams. Here's McDavid. This one, games 3 and games 4, especially game 1. Dallas did what they had to do today. I don't think Edmonton really played a bad game.
No, I feel they played to the best of their abilities. I just turned on the Pacers game. They played, I would say an A minus game. I'm not saying A plus. I'm gonna say A minus. He still played a good game. No doubt about that.
I'm going to flip that coverage up pretty quickly here. Now Evander Kane is going to go ahead and sit in the box. That's not what you want for Edmonton. They were on the power play. I have to see what Evander Kane did. Honestly, I missed that in terms of our talking points. Joe Pavelski's sharing some words, so I must have been involved with him. Evander Kane, we get a hook and hold. That's as plain as day. That was the same thing that Benn did to Draisaitl. So this could be, and everybody's going to be able to go home happy here. Again, we have 6:40 left to go in the other game. It looks like Indiana has just made it a 7-point lead, but we will, as soon as this one goes final. It does look like, as Ian mentioned, that this series will go in 1. It's what Alec and I expected going into this, but we got a lot closer of a game than we thought we were going to have, and a pretty good series. A pretty good series on the other side, too, between Florida and New York, as this opportunity off the entry for McDavid. McDavid now off his backhand. This will be picked up 4-on-4. It's not going to carry over the whole behind the cage for McDavid. Here is Bouchard. They're taking too much time here. Is this one? I wish McDavid would have just shot that one off the wrap. But here they go. This one off the right side blue line. As the towels continue to wave, it's going to be a bunch of happy fans. This one goes back and across the end boards in Dallas. Gentlemen, they get it done. It's 1-1 in the series now with a 3 lines.
Yeah, which we expected from Dallas on the bounce back. If they want to play a complete game, they want to show it as well. So as far as after a loss, this 5-1. So they lost the first game after a loss. That was game 2 against Vegas. But ever since it's been all wins here, and a salute Mason Marchment, who delivered the winning goal in the first period. Jake Ottinger has played a great game tonight, and Stuart Skinner, even though the stats may not show it as such, he has played near perfect.
Yeah, that second period, especially when there was a lot of rush there, Skinner kept this team in the game. I agree with you, Alec, in the sense of the empty net pull was a little bit too soon there for Nava. Not in terms of time, but you said it right. Evander Kane really didn't ever have opportunity to get puck possession. It would have been interesting if that goal didn't happen there on the empty net from Essa Lindell, because you had Draisaitl essentially tied it. I guess Dallas dodged a big bullet.
Yeah.
So one thing I've noticed about Dallas is this will be a weird comparison, but follow me because I think if you guys watch soccer, you may understand this. The way Dallas plays sometimes is that they'll score one or two goals, and then they'll go and play an entirely defensive game the entire time, rush on the counterattack. you see this a lot in the World Cup with some of these European teams where they'll score a goal. It's now hockey and soccer; those are two different sports. And if you see, if you were to just look at the stat sheet, you think, oh, Edmonton scored one goal, but they had all these shots. They had all these shots, so Onger saved them. Except, you see Dallas players blocking shots left and right. Dallas plays that similar defensive style where they'll go up 2 goals and then they'll just shut you down defensively. They don't have to get into a shootout or blow out another team because they're able to win close. But I think they're going to beat Edmonton because if Edmonton doesn't score, if Edmonton doesn't have at least a 3-goal game every game, I don't think they win.
I don't disagree with you, Ian, and your point is well taken. The only counter I can say to that, the only counter I can throw out there was go back and look at the second period when you get an opportunity for that, because Jake Ottinger was absolutely under siege. Yes, your point's well taken in the third with all the block shots that Dallas was able to get and have that funnel and had the lead in the bag. But Jake Ottinger kept them in, especially toward the beginning of it, because if he didn't, especially from that first when it was 16-3 wAlec on the shot board, it was pretty brutal.
It was 16-3 on the shot board. It almost felt like deja vu to Oilers and Canucks game 7. They almost got a throwback to that one, except this time the team that was behind came out and pulled off the victory and made things interesting in the third period. And it's first goal.
Yeah. So, no, those are well taken points. To throw that out there, and I agree with you. Dallas and their defensive structure, they should be able to travel well. We talked about it between all of us that their road record is one of the best in the NBA. I still have confidence. I just wanted to see it, but I just will take the other side. This isn't devil's advocate. I will take the other side and say that I think Edmonton has played better than I even expected them to. We'll see if they. Alec, you could take the play-by-play if you want to or whatnot, but I'm just going to watch along with you, gentlemen, at the end of this one, if you don't mind.
All right, so I got Pacers Celtics here. So 66 paint points for the Pacers here. We covered them once before. As in the in-season tournament where the Pacers made it all the way to the finals in the first ever try. Jason Tatum lost it, kicked it out over to Tim White, got it up with 5. Yes, sir! Celtics winning 5 tonight, 995 game.
Good shot there is Tatum. Again, as you said, lost the dribble a little bit. Derek White's been such a good pickup for the Boston Celtics as they try to win an NBA title. Indiana trying to stay right in there without Tyrese Halliburton tonight as we're getting a live look in.
TJ McConnell was short on that shot as he was falling down. Tatum sends up Al Horford on the pass. Horford goes back for Tatum. On the Pacer logo. Now steps up in front. Suffocating defense from McConnell. Can't shoot. Tatum spins around. Now kicked out for Horford. Return feed for Tatum. 5 to shoot. 1-on-1 defense. Tatum has again. Is this going to be a foul? Yes, it is going to be a foul. We don't know who it is at. It appears they're going to be pointing towards McConnell.
I'm seeing if he got his feet set. It should be a charge against Jason Tatum, honestly. If they call that the other way, I really don't like that call.
I mean, I think this should be a charge against Tatum before a push-out because Tatum tried to stop this contact. And to be playing devil's advocate, I think this could be more of a case of fouls on both Tatum and McConnell.
That's fair. If you want to go that way as well, I won't disagree.
Floppy. That's what they want to go about. Here's Tatum. A screen from Horford finds him. Every on the way. Overshot it. McConnell pushing the pace. TJ McConnell pointing in the right wing side of the Cambridge Fieldhouse logo. Siakam sets up left side. And around for Neesmith, the ex-Celtic. Turner finds Nembhard, who starts at the top of the key, now goes back. Nembhard charging up to the right side. Nembhard steps back. Now for the free throw line. Fires it. Takes it through. And triple-digit mark.
That's a pretty good move. He kind of looked like Tyrese Halliburton there.
He sure did. They played perfect opposite. Here's Drew Holiday, who stepped back over the left wing side. One-on-one coverage, and around for Jalen Brown. Brown Jones steps and powers down right on Miles Turner's face. Big boy.
That is ridiculous athleticism from Brown.
Nembhard, open three. He's got it right corner side.
Both teams going back and forth. Nembhard has 30, gentlemen.
Nembhard.
Really hot. Pushing the pace. Driving this IndyCar car. Here's Brown. Right side. Looks for Son open man. Horford, extra pass for Wyatt. I'm not sure why he made the extra pass. Horford was open. Horford down to the inside. Has to get it up. And hooks it. Limit 5 over the Celtics now. 3:25 to play.
Close possession there for Horford. Got the size to get the hook off quickly.
Here's Nembhard going right side, playing the game of his life. Nembhard fakes out White. Now kicked over to off the logo to Turner. Nembhard back with this. He's making Howie Brown kicked out from Mercado. Open three in the right corner. Yes, sir. TJ Mercado. 3-point bucket zone round. 3 minutes to play.
What kind of defense was that? Looks like they were just giving it to him.
I expected to assure you they were. Here's White. All for Holiday. Wide open. Easy layup there. Limit 6 on the Celtics. Back at it comes Mercado over to the rack. Gets this one inside. 23 for Mercado on this game. What a match for the Pacers.
Absolutely ridiculous. TJ McConnell coming alive.
And here comes Jalen Brown. He does not want to this. He puts it through. Tight coverage doesn't matter. 2:20 to play. Jalen Brown with 24.
That was going good give and go. I'm glad that we're looking at this right now live.
And do keep in mind, Derek White is due a big for three-pointers. He just hit his second three-pointer of this game. Spicy P for the free throw line. Now kicked out over to the right wing side. He's forced up there. Nembhard, the number 2 in the goal. Nembhard over to Mercado. Has to get out with 2. Back over for Miles Turner. Just puts it through. Double rims out. White pace. Derek White over to Drew Holiday. Holiday to the inside. Now moved out for Brown. Tatum, top of the game 3. Come on! Jason Tatum, 36 points in game 3. 109-106 Pacers.
In transition or not, you can't lose Jason Tatum at the top of the key.
He's going to fight you no matter what. Here's Nembhard to the inside. Tries his way through. He's wondering what his foul was.
Looks like he's going to get it. Alec at the 126 marker. Derek White picks up a shooting foul. Nembhard going in the line. That's a strong take. Spoon and Holiday and White.
There's 3 players all at once. He's just playing the defense all around. I wonder if he was forced to hold this ball and he got it up. First free throw, good. Andrew Nembhard continue on his hot run. He has 31.
Yeah, that
So,
is.
fellas,
Go ahead.
real quick. Around the third quarter, they put up a stat. Nembhard with 3 for 5 from 3-point range. The rest of the team, 0 for 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're making threes now, but now to this point, we had 3 points to the Pacers. 4 of them from Nembhard. The only other one was Mercado. As Nembhard puts the Pacers to like 5, making focus free throws. White sets up on the logo. One-on-one defense around for Tatum. Tatum goes to the inside. Behind the back for Horford. That was beautiful. Now Horford on a Tatum.
Are you kidding me? That's an absolutely gorgeous pass.
That's how you say that Tatum is a superstar.
What just
Stop all the
happened?
slander, folks. He's here and he's not playing games. Nembhard loves the handle. Jalen Brown trying his foot to the best. Here's Nembhard. Let's free to shoot. Siakam to the inside. Can't get it there. Brown over to Tatum. Tatum can tie it or get the Celtics back to lead. Tatum. And around this goes no. Holiday tries to the inside. Holiday, put it up. It's good. The Celtics have tied the game.
Oh.
What?
Oh my goodness. How is there not a foul on the other end? Pascal Siakam. He's trying to make a play. I guess White got it clean. I didn't think so in real time. And then
Sir, you do, and there's no contact with the Celtics, we think. since 38-31.
It's not the same thing, Alec, but Indiana's got to be feeling nightmares from game one, correct? But this time, down 18, Boston comes back. Feels like Indiana had this game in the bag from game one and game three, and maybe the Celtics 38 seconds away from taking a 3-0 commanding lead.
It feels like deja vu in a different sense of ways, because the Pacers, they were up 5 in the waiting stages of game one. Then Rick Carlisle decided not to call a timeout when Siakam couldn't get himself open. That was perfectly played defense by Celtics, but you gotta call timeout if you're Carlisle. Then intentionally on Jalen Brown to force him to shoot twice on the free throw line. Instead, you give him the game-tying three-pointer, and with Siakam right on JB's face.
Yeah, sometimes the coaching decisions, the small things. We talked about that as we've done some of our hockey coverage as well. We mentioned a lot of basketball. Al Horford, big. You got to call him a superstar there. You know he is one. That was such a gorgeous pass. Behind his back, Al Horford, there was a chance to guard that. You take it away.
Al Horford, at this point in time, he has made 7 of his 12 a three-point specialist all throughout. We talk about Steph Curry making three-pointers. It's a big man making three-pointers such as Kristaps Porzingis. Let's put Horford in the mix.
That's what they have him do at the advanced age. Again, it's been a long time. He's never gotten a title, but he's been a winner. See if the Boston Celtics can get him one.
Throughout his time split with Atlanta, Boston, Oklahoma City, and Philadelphia. DeBoer tries it up. One-on-one foul. Mid-range shot. Overshot it. Jumps to it. Pacers have to foul. Holiday shakes on this man. Neesmith bottom. And Neesmith intentionally fouls Brown.
It looks like Alec, no foul. I think Joe Mazzulla just using his TO there. So we'll get a stoppage with 25 seconds left. No foul, but I agree with you. They had to get this quickly. And now the Pacers, as we go to break, they better get a stop here. Otherwise, this game could be done.
Yes, and Joe Mazzulla saw it as he was forced to burn his timeout, knowing that the Pacers, they were going to intentionally foul there. And you can want choice now to intentionally foul. And should one of these Celtics make both the free throws, you're forced into a situation where you have to make a three-point shot. Who's not going to cut it? It's free.
I'll just give you the easy question here. I know it's probably when you need a bucket if you're Indiana.
I'll go DeBoer if you're going three-pointer. If it's a two-pointer, Siakam.
That's going to be a tough call. I don't disagree with any of it. Miles Turner, he's been pretty good if they need it. I don't think it's going to be an unlikely 3, but I've seen him step back and shoot it.
Well, that's in case they had or Boston scores a 2. Now Boston scores a 3, that's it. This game's over. But if they get a stop, they're going to be covering all the major players on the Pacers. I'm looking at TJ McConnell to get that light too.
Take it away, Alan.
I know the Boston Bruins, they're enjoying their time after their on a play, and they're celebrating a particular game. And the Celtics, they're hoping that the city of Boston, they're hoping that they can get the city of Boston another title, looking for their record-setting 18th title, which breaks the tie with the LA Lakers that was tied in 2020. 15 seconds. The Pacers are not fouling. And Tatum shakes his man. Tatum to the rack. Smoked away him. Now here go the Pacers. They have to move this up with pace. Edward shakes out Holiday. To the ball by Holiday. Holiday to run this one out. And Siakam fouls him with just 1.1.
Let me tell you this, gentlemen. I'm going to say it right now because I saw it in game 1 in OT. Drew Holiday, a couple critical stops, forced Tyrese Halliburton to a turnover. Now he forces Nembhard to no turnover. That's exactly why you brought him over to Boston.
Yeah, you lose Marcus Smart to offseason.
Yeah.
That's exactly why you bring a defensive presence. All ball.
perfect defense there. We'll see if Boston can finish it out. We're going to meet at the line right now for an official review here. But personal take foul for Siakam, that would mean free throws ball anyway. That could be done. Holiday might win this game for Boston.
And you remember, Rick Carlisle has a timeout to use.
We'll watch to see if they do that again. I'm with you, Alec. That's all ball. You get the body contact and toward the left-hand swipe. What a clean steal. And this team doesn't even have Kristaps Porzingis back yet.
Yeah, I had to mention something about this. We're already talking about the Celtics not facing a fully healthy team. Let me stop that argument there. The Pacers haven't either. The Celtics, they faced
Sure.
a team about Jimmy Butler, a Cavs team about Donovan Mitchell in the last 4 games, and a Pacers team in this game about Tyrese Halliburton. However, the Pacers faced a Bucks team about Giannis and Damian Lillard. The next team that had their front court banged up with injuries and saw Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart knocked out injuries, and team that's without Kristaps Porzingis. So all this narrative about the Celtics not facing a healthy team has to stop.
I'm with you, Alec. That's well said. Honestly, in between everybody that's left and thinking going into it, I know Boston, you got a lot of stuff on your plate per usual. I get it. This is a complete basketball team to me.
I was skeptical at first if the Celtics can make it to the final, and now they've really turned my head now.
Yeah, it's kind of the same way that we're watching. I know it's not the same way, but for the Edmonton Oilers, kind of surprising you. Boston had some things left to do to surprise. Back-to-back defensive efforts and critical games for Mr. Drew Holiday. That's certainly going to put a bee in the bonnet there. And for Al Horford to hit, 7 3-pointers? You'll take it.
And you'll take it any day. 7 3-points for him, 23 points in total. And Jason Tatum, he heard the disrespect.
Yeah.
And he answered with a near triple-double. 36 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists.
And tell me again why people don't think he's a superstar?
I mean, how
Come
you
on.
gonna put him in the top 10 in the NBA, yet say Jalen Brown is the best player on the Celtics? I mean, Brown, he's the Robin of this team.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum's the Batman. Let's put it at that.
Completely agree. Again, we're still waiting on 1.1 left here. It looks like Drew Holiday has made the play of the game. We did a hell of a job checking this time to do a live look-in after our game. Holiday going to the line.
They're going to rule it a common foul. Holiday's willing to take 2 shots. Pacers is still alive. The Celtics can go by 3 or stay at 1, depending on the outcome that Holiday has. Siakam reached it. It's not a reach-in foul. It's a common foul.
Just to know, fellas, they put 0.6 seconds left on the clock. Now for casual sports fans, that may not seem like a lot, but for people who watch basketball fans, 0.6 seconds is quite a bit of time.
Yeah, they put 0.6 back on the clock. Holiday makes the first one, second one up. That one goes. It's taking his last timeout. A free must have been here.
Yeah, that's what you got to have. At least they had the timeout. Again, as you said, no take fouls there, so just a common foul that's big. Indiana can get the ball back, try to engineer something. I know Alec mentioned it earlier there with Nemhard. I threw out Miles Turner maybe as a second option just in case. But again, Nemhard's probably where they're going. And at least if you're Boston or if you're Indiana, rather off-ball screens, some type of misdirection to get Nemhard as open of a look as possible because Boston probably knows already where this ball is going.
I think the Celtics know that the Pacers going to
Yeah.
go to Nemhard. So I know the Celtics, they want to go towards someone where there's a lesser chance of making a free. The only other free that's not Nemhard for the Pacers is TJ McConnell. I think the best options in Indiana outside of Nemhard.
That's what I'm thinking as well. Again, Ian went with TJ McConnell, so I think somebody's going to get it right between all of us. Doug McDermott's coming into the game for TJ, by the way.
Well,
Curious decision. You're going with the offensive guys. Doug McDermott, who played 4 minutes in this game, could make a chance here. They're going with 3-point shooters, all of them. So the Celtics are playing half-court defense here, trying to lock it down on the Pacers. The Pacers have 1.7 to advance. They're inbounding the ball from their end of the court. And the Pacers are going to run it down all throughout, going run and gun. It's a football formation. And here they come. Nava's going to look. Going to inbound here. He gets it out. Aaron Neesmith the free. Aaron himself. And the Celtics take a 3-0 strike
Wow.
on the Pacers in this Eastern Conference Final.
The Pacers choked. They choked.
Unbelievable.
They choked game 3. They may have just the nail in their own coffin, and this series isn't even over yet. When they say this team in 3, this is what we're talking about.
I will say, and I know this is a little, I don't mean it because it did cover game 1, but that Pascal Siakam pass from game 1 off the inbound was brutal, correct? And then it led to a turnover, and then Celtics get the shot from Jaylen Brown. At least the Pacers in game 3 got a shot off with Aaron Neesmith at the end. You just couldn't knock it down. It wasn't a bad look. You had a good play from Drew Holiday yet again from game 1, and now game 3 ultimately seals this thing for the Celtics. They're going to have to play in a couple more nights back at the Fieldhouse, but I feel confident now saying it, gentlemen. This series is over. I think the Celtics get the sweep.
Maybe. I mean, they're matching what the Pacers have, and for all they talk the Pacers, but their run and gun offense, well, the Pacers getting a little bit exposed here.
Yeah.
And the Celtics, they're taking full advantage of it. A light win, just like game 1, a comeback victory, just like game 1. It feels like the Celtics, they may be going to the NBA final. We don't know what day it's going to be, but it feels like this series could be over as soon as Monday.
I think that's well said. I think that's where we're going. It could extend to Wednesday. I will give you all that, but I think this is done. There's no way the Pacers now win 4 games. And it is kind of sad a little bit for Indiana because you were close, right, in a lot of these games. But margins, we talk about it all the time. Little mistakes. It happened in game 1. Again, as Ian said now, it happened this way in game 3. You just can't have those type of errors when on the other end, again, as you mentioned, you got Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and Drew Holiday. When you make those mistakes, you're likely going to pay for it on the other side of your net. And Boston able to get another comeback, 33-21 in the 4th quarter. That hurts.
Yeah, it really does. Especially when you see that the 38-20 that was matched by the Celtics 33-21 in the 4th quarter. The second half pushed by Boston just enough to get another victory. And to take that stranglehold 3-0 series lead over the Pacers on the way to a possible NBA final up against either Minnesota or Dallas. We'll have to see the result from tomorrow. But the Pacers fans, at least you got the Indy 500.
Yes, you do. And you do have a pretty good basketball team. I think things considered, Alec, before I close up shop here. I don't think the Indiana Pacers are going to have anything to be upset about as far as going into the offseason because the team probably exceeded all of our expectations. You just hope that when the Pacers start again next year, maybe a little more health, but maybe one more score here for this team to get them over the hump.
So, you want to get over the hump? Maybe one more?
That's what I'm looking at. I think that's what I think the Pacers probably miss the most. And we'll see what happens on the Monday side. Are you covering tomorrow's game?
Tomorrow, I'm more inclined towards the Coca-Cola 600.
Okay, so we'll keep marks on it. I'll probably shoot you a message back and forth in between Dallas. We'll see what they do. I'll probably jump back on Monday. We'll see what happens with the coverage. But Tuesday is where I'll be excited to get back in between Florida. Thank you for joining me, gentlemen. It was a good one. I will talk to you next week. You have a good weekend.
Hey, John.
Yes.
Real quick. Alec, because I don't want to do it, but would you and Alec be willing to try and broadcast a nationally televised baseball game at some point?
Yeah, I will do. I mean, I have MLB TV, so I can do anything that's not Tigers. I know it's different for our side, but we can do baseball. We haven't done baseball since the World Series, but as soon as honestly, as soon as the Stanley Cup Finals and everything else are done, I will be working on that. So yes.
Nice.
You want to cover? You want us to cover the Kansas City Royals, don't you?
Well, unfortunately, those games are going to be few and far between where I can actually watch them.
Okay.
Because, well, John knows.
Same local thing as me, right? Yes.
Yep, same freaking company.
Well, we'll figure that out. And yes, to answer your question, Ian, it's a yes, and we'll do that. We'll be in communication. I will talk to you guys in a couple days, but you take care, okay?
Yes, sir.
Take care, everyone.
Take care.
Oh, man. Well, we had a live look into that NBA conference final, and then we closed out between Dallas and Edmonton. It's a good night of game. We'll talk to you on Monday. Peace.